Welcome in to Middays without Marks, Middays without Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. I'm hanging out with you. Jason Martinez in today. Jason, how are we?
Middays with Martinez.
Oh, I like that.
A long time.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
We want to just change the branding. Monarch's here, right? We'll just change the branding for 4 hours?
Go
Johnny
find
won't
that,
mind.
those old Mays and Martinez returns.
I got a couple of Mays drops if you want to hear his voice. Every once in a while, I just fire it just to laugh.
I heard him yesterday.
Yeah.
When he called me complaining. We got to do a preseason game in like 3 weeks.
He's upset already about the locked on.
I said, why? And he's, well, I want to go golfing. I'm like, geez, you in this golf.
Always him in the golf.
He's out of control with it.
I was texting our buddy Colby, who listens to the program, and I go quiz him over there at 1912. He's like, well, when we go out golfing, we gotta get Harry. He's like, I'm sure he'll find something to complain about with LeBron, with the Eagles. I was like, why are you being so hard on Harry?
Oh, he's thrilled about LeBron.
Is he?
Yeah.
See, I need to get Harry. I have to get out there at 1912 because I still haven't
Harry will complain about the aeration of the greens, the undulation, probably acorns after he destroyed his ankle on the acorns. I had to drive him to work for 3 months. I have to pick him up every day with his stupid knee scooter.
When it comes to a foxhole guy, you are the ultimate Fanatic foxhole guy from all the stories I've heard. Drive him to work for 3 months.
I would have to bring his trash cans and recycling in. I carried a bag, and he had so much crap in it, it would weigh a ton. Threw out my back.
I'm worried if he ever watched me golf that he would just disown me for good. Given how much time he spends on the golf course and the way I shot it the one time I've been out this summer, I'm worried that would be it for me. I have more slices than a pizza pie. It was tough for me.
That's not bad.
Oh, no. You
know the saying, your best day at work or your worst day on the golf course is better than your best day at work.
I'll be honest with you. I've had some pretty good days at work. I broke the LeBron news. I think it was better than the day I was on the golf course.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either because if I lose, I'm miserable.
Well, that's the thing. I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
I'm not mentally built for that.
Me neither. And like when I played with Mike, and thank God I didn't lose because I would have never heard the end of it.
You beat him?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you a golfer like that?
Yeah, I played junior golf as a kid. So
I learned something new working with Jason every time.
Yeah. So, I grew up playing at Radley Run Country Club as a kid and played junior golf there. Could hit him at one point. I haven't played in so long. I don't know.
All right.
It's been a while.
There you go. Me, you, Harry at 1912. When you end up killing me in it, I'll be pissed. But for right now, I'm thrilled with the idea of, hey, he hasn't swung a golf club in years.
Yeah, there's some weird things about me that people found out, like from doing the radio. Was it that?
Yep.
The golfing thing, and that I won the Theology Academic Achievement Award at Malvern for 3 years in a row.
I remember that. I remember when you were on with Johnny earlier, like in the fall. I remember that coming up.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. Whatever we learn over the next 4 hours, I'll be thrilled to get.
Yeah.
I want to learn from you where you're at with the Phillies right now, because that's where I want to start the conversation
a hot mess.
today. Yeah, it's a mess. It's we all
and it's messy.
It's so messy. It is perfect for us.
Not Lionel Messi. It's just messy.
It's
like the kitchen's messy, right?
What we're watching right now, we came into the week like, well, you're playing the Marlins team's lost 12 games in a row. Certainly this is the place where you figure it out. You go down to Miami, you win a couple games, you turn things around. The rest of the schedule going into August doesn't look that bad for the month of August. You'll make it work. Not to be the case.
Yeah.
Yesterday probably takes the cake from Monday and loss of the year. You're up 6-0. Lazardo's on the mound.
And you blow it. Yeah. Just like you see these things and you go, they can't happen. Now, look, we've all fully realized it's a 162-game season. There's ebbs, there's flows. But this ebb is very rough and very alarming and concerning. And it's my computer's playing some heavy metal.
I just thought maybe Dutzy got excited seeing you, and he was like, you know what, let's get the heavy metal going now.
I must have another window open. Oh, yeah, there is. Sepultura propaganda, that's why. But, yeah, it's messy, too, and it's spilling out of the clubhouse, and that's what concerns me.
Yeah, that should be the concerning point. At this, and it's something about this team. And this is the biggest thing from what Harper had to say. We'll play all of it for you. Coming up, we're playing the hits from the week here. Harper calling for help. Mattingly calling Harper out. I don't know if you saw what Matt Gelb wrote in The Athletic yesterday, but he's calling it the Cold War between Bryce Harper and Dave Dombrowski that's reached its 10th month. Two of them are not getting along.
So this is like Reagan-Gorbachev Cold War stuff.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm trying to figure out who's going to take down the wall.
Who wrote the article?
Matt Gelb.
it's a great comparison. Oddly enough, it is because it's a standoff.
It is.
It's the ultimate standoff, and it's Val Kilmer and Tombstone. I'm your Huckleberry.
It's watching this team right now, Jason. Like, it feels like every time I go get my car checked, my car is about 25 years old, and when I get the inspection, I start to sweat. Like, this is it. Yeah. Every time they go through one of these skids, I start to sweat, thinking maybe this is it.
Yeah.
Like, early in April, we had the thought of when Thompson got fired, they were 10 games under. It's like, is our summer wasted?
Yeah,
like,
are we playing out the string by July 4th?
Right.
Like the old days?
And you didn't get that. For 2 months, they were one of the best teams in baseball. And we have to remind ourselves of that in a stretch like this. But you come out of the All-Star break, you drop a series to the Mets, and then it was, all right, well, look at this stretch that's come up for. It doesn't get much easier with you. Dodgers, Yankees, Marlins.
Yep.
The Marlins made it look easy, haven't lost 12 games in a row. All right, you got out of the Dodgers, you got out of the Yankees. If some things go the right way in those series, maybe you win a game. You could say in Miami, and I heard Don Manley give this thought after the game, like, that Monday night game, that Wednesday night game, you probably should have had those games. Yeah. You have a lead Monday night. Duran comes in. You think you're going to lock that one up. You got a 6-0 lead on Wednesday. You should have taken 2 or 3. The problem is, we said this last week.
Fine line.
The fine line that this team exists on, it's not winning games in the margins. And if they don't get their top 7 guys to do their job at an exceptional level, and Luzardo being one of those yesterday, you're in absolute dire straits.
Yeah. There's a number, sometimes numbers don't tell a story completely, or a number just lends to the story, but there's a number that really pops out to me, and it speaks to their inconsistency this year and where they are, especially now in this skid that they're in this funk. They're minus 15 on the season in run differential.
Mm-hmm.
That's alarming.
Yep.
That is alarming. When the 2 teams below them in the standings, one of them being the Marlins, the other being the Nationals are plus 28, Marlins are plus 6. The division-leading Braves are plus 98. The Phillies are minus 15 in run differential.
And I can hear the glass half full right now. Well, those Painter starts really got you. But the thing is, the way you've been winning, we've been saying it all year long, just doesn't feel sustainable. The number of one-run games they were able to win, it's like, wow, what a testament to Duran.
That runs out.
That runs out for you.
It runs out.
It runs out for you. And this is a team, my biggest issue, going back to what Harper said about we need help, and going back to what Harper said when Thompson got fired, this is a team that seems like when things are going bad, they're looking for someone else to do something for them.
Yeah.
It's everyone in the clubhouse like, all right, hey, you got something for me tonight? You got something for me tonight? Most of that clubhouse.
Nobody's pointing at themselves.
Is pointing at Harper and Schwartz. Most of that clubhouse just waits for the 2 of them to get hot. And it's like, wow, look, we're really great. Or the top of this starting rotation. It never feels like this team, it's solved but by them just digging in and getting it done. Like the other night, I watched the Pirates come back from being down 6 runs. They ended up losing the game. But like with this team, you were up 6 runs, and as it felt like Jaws.
Yeah.
The sharks in the water. I got done.
Yeah.
Done. Here come the Marlins. Here come the Marlins. I'm talking about we're talking about the Miami Marlins, Jason.
Yeah.
Talking about the 20s Yankees.
Yeah. Well, the Marlins seem to be a thorn in the side at the worst times too. The thing is this on one hand, Harper and Schwarber, they're enormous pieces, but when you have really high-end players, you can't just count on those guys. You can't, and everybody else can't just look to them.
Right.
It was the problem for most of Iverson's era as a Sixer was everybody just looked to him to do it all. Or you look at just like your top players to do it all. You got to get contributions. Some nights it's got to be, somebody else is carrying the mail. You can't have those guys have to do it all the time. Where are you on Harper's comments?
To me, it's him looking to the front office and being like, hey, one, it's taking a shot at Dombrowski, which I'm cool. Dombrowski took a shot at him. If they need to do that. I'd love for us at this point, maybe day off today. I don't know if you remember the Eagles Super Bowl year, Hurts and Sirianni couples therapy.
Yeah.
Where the bye week, they sat down, they hashed everything out. I would love that.
Yeah.
Only got one day.
It's also a come to Jesus meeting in some ways. I'm the boss. But you come to an agreement. You walk out of that room with the same common goal. And if you don't walk out of the room with the common goal, you got a huge problem.
Yeah. I think it's emblematic, though, of this team, those guys, whether you go back to when they fired Rob Thompson, them talking, hey, we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Or Bryce Harper right now, hey, we need help. Or basically feels like, well, we're going to get that help at the deadline. Things will spin around for us. We'll start moving. I can't have you be waiting on the front office. You can have problems with Dave Dombrowski, and you can have your little spat with him, but it does feel like a mentality of this team. Like, all right, someone's coming to bail us out. Nobody's coming to bail you out.
No, you still got to be the man. You're getting paid to be the man.
Coming up, I want to get where you are with the Harper comments in full. We'll play the comments for you. We'll get you what Harper had to say. Mattingly's response to it, which Mattingly, we talked to Bob Nightingale yesterday, and he was like, yeah, unless Mattingly wins a World Series, it's going to be Alex Cora's job next year.
Yeah.
Which, Mattingly, the way he's talking, does seem like a guy that's like, I got one shot. I'm going to say whatever I feel.
So yeah, throw caution to the wind.
Yeah, and he certainly did with these comments about Bryce Harper.
He did.
But on top of that, Mattingly a problem for me yesterday and why they lost that game. We could dive into that as well. But the bigger picture here, Dombrowski, Harper, the Cold War that's raging on. I'm curious for the people out there at 610-632-0975. You know Jason loves a good phone call. You want to check in and talk to Jason Martinez.
I want to talk to the people. It's one of the reasons why I agreed to come and do the show today.
He wants to talk to you at 610-632-0975. Where's the panic meter? Yesterday we had people calling us and really pushing the Phillies to sell. And that was before they blew a 6-0 lead in Miami and got swept by the Marlins.
Yeah, I'm not in sell mode.
You're not in sell? No, I'm not in sell mode either. But I want to know where the panic meter is. Coming up, let's get you a level of panic that you've gotten to.
Concernometer. All right.
610-632-0975. That's obviously the Davis Honda text line. You get the voice memos in, name, location, occupation. But you know Jason wants to talk to you on the phone lines at 610-632-0975. You watch them get swept by the Marlins. Where's the panic meter at today? Jump on in with us, 610-632-0975. Middays with Martinez. That's what we're calling it today. I'm Ray Dunn. Be right back here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Welcome back in. Middays without Mark. 97.5 The Fanatic. Johnny back tomorrow. Dutsy producing today. Hair Jordan, how we doing?
I'm doing all right, Ray.
Better
how
than
are
the
you?
Phillies.
I don't think that's a high bar to set.
This entire place yesterday, as that game was unraveling, was just a groan fest pretty much across the board. Can you believe it's happening? I forget what I was doing post-show, trying to get stuff ready for today, for, looking towards next week. They got the Wall of Fame coming up next week. Yeah, all the things. Training camp open, just try to look at the calendar. It was like, they're going to lose this game. Whoa, what's the score now? Oh, they've cut it to 2. Cut it to 2? This game's tied. This game's tied?
That was Addison yesterday. She was like, oh, the Phillies are now down by 2.
Yeah.
On the lead.
Absolutely ridiculous from them yesterday. I was talking to Connor Thomas before the show, and he's got the Hawaiian shirt on today. For those unfamiliar with the Connor Thomas Hawaiian shirt, I'm not going to call it a bit or a shtick because there is something to it. I got to give him credit where credit is due. There is something to that. He said he rolls it out in the darkest moment for the team. It feels like the darkest moment for the team. At this point, you have come out of the All-Star break, and you are 3-9. And I, yesterday, went at a dentist appointment, was going to get fitted for a tux for a wedding. I go sit down at a bar in King of Prussia, wait for the traffic to relent so I can get back down to the city and get home and get on with my night.
You get a cummerbund?
Get what?
A cummerbund with the tux?
I have no idea what I'm doing with the tux.
You don't know what a cummerbund is?
No.
It's the black thing you wear, like, around your middle.
Yeah. Probably. I don't know. I have the whole thing, because this is how it gets done. You get sent the link, and it's you got to go find this store, and this store, here's everything you need. Go get fitted for what you need. That's how I got it as a groomsman.
Jesus, pain in the ass.
That's what and then on top of that, I go to this store. I'm not going to name names because I was very annoyed with all of them yesterday. The appointment time I thought was 5:30. They had 5 o'clock. So I get an email that it's been canceled because I've been walking around the King of Prussia Mall like an idiot for a half hour. Killing time. I'm eating my Auntie Anne's pretzel. Oh, wow, look at this. I walked into Lids looking at hats. Like, oh, yeah, like I'm going to buy anything today because I'm about to drop $1 million on a tux. I get to the back corner of the store where this smaller entity exists that I'm
supposed to.
Yeah. Nobody's there. I'm like, hey, I'm trying. There's 17 associates walking past me like,
you're on the pay no mind list.
Yep, exactly. I waited there 10, 15 minutes. Nobody came to me. I was like, to hell with this. I'm leaving.
I had to go there to get my phone fixed. And they're like, you can wait. It's going to be like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm like, all right, I'm going to kill time with no phone.
Right. Good luck.
I'm just walking around, but I found the Porsche store.
Ooh.
And they had a simulator in the Porsche store.
There you go.
So we sat down and did some racing for a while.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That actually worked out for you. Me.
It was perfect.
I'm sitting there.
I set the lap record for the store. We were on our way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Me, I'm 30 minutes out of a dentist appointment eating a cinnamon Auntie Anne's pretzel, walking around like I'm 15 again.
Yeah.
Like, I got nothing to do.
Hanging out at the food court.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking samples.
I was like, this food court's also changed entirely. I was like, there's not a single option here. They got Pokeballs, and who's going to the mall and getting the Pokeball? I'm perfectly fine with the Pokeball, but who's going to the mall and getting that? So I'll be honest about it. But I'm wandering around. It sucks. And then I get down to sit at the bar, and I get the notification from The Athletic, the latest from Matt Gelb, Cold War from Dombrowski Harper, detailing that team officials are upset with Harper's comments. Dombrowski and Harper's relationship hasn't been repaired at all. And, oh, by the way, we're sitting here at the deadline, and this team has so many holes that if it was a boat, I don't know if you could plug it all up before it sinks.
You only got so many fingers.
Right.
Well, let's play the sound.
Yeah, let's get you Bryce Harper from the other night. This is after Tuesday night's loss. They lose 1-0. Aaron Nola only gives up 1 earned, 5 2/3.
That's supposed to be a win.
That's supposed to be a win for you. You don't win. Here's Bryce Harper after the game.
Yeah, I think we need some help, but I think we've proved, pretty much all year we've done a pretty good job. But anytime you can, get some help in here and reinforcements, I think it helps.
Do you think that help be best coming in the form of an arm or a bat?
I think both. I think obviously everybody knows what we need, so I think I've said it over the last couple of days.
What did you make of the comments from Bryce Harper?
Look, I didn't have a problem with it. We need some help in here. That on its own, I didn't have a problem with. The fact that there's history there makes it a little bit more complicated. And my issue would, if I did have an issue with it, and again, this isn't a hill I would be willing to die on, but I don't think it does the GM any favors to try and get deals done when he makes that public. And, because I always look at, you want to put your GM in a position, if he's got to make deals, to have as much leverage as possible in dealing. And I don't know that making that public helps that situation. I really believe that. That's why I say I never listen to GMs, what they say, or coaches. I look at what they do.
This
it's a
one is
leverage
one
game.
that I listen to. Dombrowski, he's like painfully honest. I mean, we all obviously remember you were in a lot.
I guess we only find out if he becomes elite or he continues to be good.
During that stretch after
Which is a ballsy thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I give him credit for having the stones to do that. But again, I wouldn't do that publicly.
It's very interesting that this year in July, you haven't seen Dombrowski anywhere. You go back last year, MLB Network needed someone to fill in a spot. There's Dombrowski talking about the deadline. Starkville, buddy Jason Stark, Doug Glanville, their podcast through The Athletic, they needed someone to talk to up to the deadline. Dave Dombrowski was on there. He talked with them. I remember cutting that one up. He was doing MLB Network. He was doing Starkville. He did the podcast that they do up at the New York Post. If anyone needed to talk to a president of baseball operations ahead of the deadline last year, Dave Dombrowski was happy to take the call, sit there, and do an hour worth of media.
He was sending out, I'm available to come on.
They've got him in the Morey bunker right now.
Yeah.
You know where Daryl Morey hid every year? They got Dave Dombrowski in wherever Daryl Morey was hiding right now.
Where is that bunker? Because there's been a lot of executives that have hidden that bunker over the years.
He might have a bed right next to Morey because we still haven't heard from Morey.
The Morey cot. He's got a cot down there, like an inflatable. It's probably deflated by now.
Who we heard from, though, yesterday was Don Mattingly before the game. This is before you give up a 6-run lead, end up getting swept by
this isn't very
Marlins.
inspiring.
Mattingly responding to Harper's comments.
I sense Bryce thinking about it. I don't really sense anybody else thinking about it, honestly. And you've been through this. Guys want to be GMs, what you need, without a real understanding of where the organization is, exactly where its thing goes, not only this year, but moving forward. So, again, players like being GMs and making calls and spending other people's money. So let's let it go at that.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. But again, I just don't like any of this being public. If I'm running the team, I like it from our standpoint.
Of course.
It's a talking point. It's a storyline. But again, this is spilling out into areas that are not beneficial. And he's not wrong in the sense that, the player doesn't know the intricacies of conversations that Dave Dombrowski is having right now with other teams about possible trades, about possible, not only in this season, but beyond. A GM's got to look at, he has a lot of things to consider. The first 3 things that have to fit for a GM are these, and I don't care what the team sport is, as long as it's a team sport. You have to find the right talent that is congruent on the field, the pieces fit together to have success on the field of play. That's number 1. Number 2, fiscally, those pieces have to fit together on a timeline of 1, 3, 5, 7 years. So you have to plan out that way. These guys are coming up for free agency. This guy's going to need to get paid. Do we hang on to this guy? Do we pay him? Do we move him now? Is this all those are value equations. And then in baseball, just as much as any other sport, you have do these guys fit together culturally? Those are the 3 master puzzles that a GM has to figure out. And in these leagues nowadays, if you want to win, you got to be damn near perfect. You really do. Mm-hmm. Unless you're the Dodgers and you're going to spend a gajillion.
Right. Scooble's going to get traded.
Yeah.
Dodgers being thrown around there. It's going to be a very sad day on Monday when we end up paying the breaking news sounder, and that ends up being the way it's happening.
And it's going to be, and it's ridiculous at this point. Something needs to be done to even the playing field. But those are the 3 things a GM has to consider. And I don't know that many players are in tune with all of those things.
Now, does Don Mattingly have more of an appreciation or more of a desire to protect the front office because his son is the general manager?
I wouldn't think that because he's a former player.
Fair.
I would have expected him to come to the defense of his player, but he's in a pickle barrel here because he's an interim.
Yeah.
So, are we getting his true thoughts? I don't know.
Seems like it. Seems like he kind of wants Harper to butt out of the conversation and just focus on what's going on the field.
Well, what he wants is a smooth ship because that can help him.
Right. Yeah, that certainly could help him.
Yeah, figure things out, start winning. Don't be waiting for the cavalry to arrive. Let's get back to winning. And if we get people, we get people. If we don't, this is what we got. We go.
You know what Sports Talk Radio talking point really was put on ice over the last 2 weeks?
What's
Whether
that?
or not Don Mattingly should be the manager going forward for this team because of the way the team's playing right now. He's aware of that. He's aware, hey, things don't turn around. And Said before the season, I have the energy to manage. Took 28 games. All of a sudden, he had the energy to manage again. Alex Cora also turned down the job. But I'm sure he's very aware of how he fits into that. What you said right there, though, you talked about leverage and what it's the message it sends outside of the organization.
Because other teams hear this stuff.
Right. For me, inside of that clubhouse, I'm not necessarily concerned about some of the quad A players that they've got on this team that'll end up down back in Lehigh Valley or unfortunately DFA'd because they make a trade and they bring someone in. But I would feel like, hey, if you're sitting around looking at the losses, like, who's Bryce talking about? There's the viral clip of Tyrese Halliburton shows up to Team USA camp.
Yeah.
And, like, LeBron, Spoelstra, all of them are up in front, like, talking about, hey, everyone's got to sacrifice. We're a team of all-stars. You know, some people aren't going to play. And it hits Halliburton. They're talking about him.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine there's someone in that clubhouse. They see that Harper quote. Either they, someone send it to them, and it's like, oh, crap, he's talking about me.
Yeah, he's saying we need an upgrade because I'm not good enough.
Right.
And those guys are aware.
Yeah.
Like, you may not admit it, but if you're not pulling your weight.
You're in a locker room all the time.
Yeah.
And you've seen
guys
trade
know
deadlines
when they're
come
not
and go.
pulling.
Like,
Yeah.
But how would that be, like, registered in a locker room with the players that would be a part of what Harper's talking
Well,
about?
Harper's a leader on this team by his stature and who he is as a player. I hope that he's saying those things in the locker room, like going around the room at times and be like, dude, we need more from you here. But he also needs more from himself. You have to do that from a position of strength. When you're performing, you can do that. And, that's what a leader does, challenges other players to be better. The ultimate players in pro sports, the ultimate people they want to please aren't the coaches, aren't the GMs, aren't the fans. It's their fellow teammates. Their approval rating means the most to them. Now, the GM, it means a lot because that's how you're getting paid.
Yeah, right. Maybe that's number two.
But that's number two. And the coach, because that's playing time, and the coach holds, or the manager in this case, holds that hammer. But you got a lot of masters to please. And nobody's pleased right now.
And Harper's not really trying to please the president of baseball operations. I think he's doing it in spite of that guy. We've now seen...
Well, he's got the FU money.
Yeah, in the last week. Well, yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, I see this Cold War, like the phrasing of it that Gelb lines out. Who's going... like in this, because Dombrowski seems to have the job security of all time with the way Middleton loves
like
him.
the Howie Roseman job security.
Right. Like,
without the Howie Roseman resume.
Correct. At least not here in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Because Middleton loves him. They're working on the succession plan. Gelb's written about it a couple of times now. I saw that it took wind. One of the aggregate accounts had it yesterday of like, oh, they're talking about a contract extension for Dombrowski. People were shocked. It's like, this has been written about a couple of times.
Yeah.
Nightingale laughed at Johnny Marks like a couple months ago when we asked about Dombrowski.
Saying he's on the hot seat.
It was like, well, what do you think about? Middleton loves that guy.
Yeah.
So Dombrowski seemingly has a ton of job security. Now, if this entirely flames out, maybe that changes. I doubt it. Harper, we all know what the contract is.
Yeah.
The two guys that are going to be here. Like, if you had to pick between one of them, I think everybody's going with the player here. And no one's like, oh, wow, Dombrowski, you put together a great roster. We can't lose what you've done for us here.
Yeah.
You've spent a lot of money.
They did too much and put too much around Bryce Harper to just move on.
Right. And they've also put too much into this team for on Monday when the trade deadline comes and be like, you know what? Zach Wheeler's got a year and a half left on his contract. We're going to try and send him to another contender. They're not going to do that.
They're not doing that.
The selling conversation that people kept having with this
It's a non-starter. That's a non-starter.
It's a non-starter. We know that we tried to create the safe space yesterday. That's what we were trying to do, Jason. We were trying to like, hey, if you want to come in here with your ideas of selling, we'll listen to you. There's just no way they're going down that path.
Yeah.
Like,
you listen to everything because you never know when that conversation can be revisited. Listen to it now. Maybe it sets the seeds for something to happen in the offseason because you're going to make some grandiose signing or trade or something like that, and you got to move a different piece. But those conversations aren't for the immediacy. They're just not.
And the problem is you're kind of stuck. Like the top end, if we're talking, like we were talking about making a splash yesterday. I said to Johnny, you need to make a splash that's like the overweight man off the diving board at the local pool. Like I need a big splash here.
Yeah, you need a good can opener.
Right, like a nice little cannonball going. Like you're not getting that.
Yeah.
Right now, your splash is...
You're talking Chris Farley cannonball.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was looking for type of splash. Right
Yeah.
now, the type of splash you're getting is like, I got to call maintenance at my apartment because the water pressure's ruined again.
Yeah.
Like
not because the floor's coming through or the ceiling's coming through because the other person's plumbing's broken.
Right. No, it's like, it's dripping. The shower's supposed to be straight.
Like, what are the options here? Like, where is this savior?
Does it feel like one's coming? It kind of feels like...
Is there one available?
So Jeff Passan mentioned on ESPN yesterday, we'll play it because he also talks about like what their approach could be at the deadline. You go through one of these stretches before the deadline. If you were a team that was in like an AL Central team, all the AL Central teams to me are the same organization.
Yeah.
You throw them together, put them in a hat, like they're the same thing.
Yeah.
Every
Cloned.
year. Yeah. There's someone that's barely above 500 winning the division. There's a team that's 20 below 500. They're out of it, and everyone else is somehow in it.
Yeah.
If the Phillies were one of those teams that were going through this stretch, it'd be very easy. They're selling. They're the Philadelphia Phillies. They play in a big market. They've got a massive payroll. There's an expectation of what they're going to do. They're still 5 over 500. They're going to go out there, and they're going to attempt to make this roster better. The extent at which they could do that is limited by the farm system. And I know someone out there right now is yelling at their radio. They could spend more money. They're limited by the fact that there's not unlimited dollars in Middleton's pocket.
Yeah.
Like they paid the luxury tax last year, David Robertson, and was paying like triple his salary. Like,
yeah.
That's where they're at right now. So Hassett tries to lay out the different paths they could go and also throws out a name that if they make a trade for, I got a lot of questions.
Even the Phillies, which was interesting to me, they have a shortstop in Trey Turner. So would they put Neto somewhere else? Could Neto play second base? Could Neto play third? There's been conversation because of Trey Turner's defense about him moving to the outfield potentially or second base after this season. Those conversations haven't happened yet, but Neto's under control for through the 2030 season. And that is a lot of control for a guy who has been nothing but productive. The Angels are going to want to hit a home run on this. And considering the paucity of bats on the market, I think they very well could with Zach Neto.
Did he use the word paucity?
That's
a good Scrabble word.
That's a great Scrabble word. Paucity. I'll be honest with you.
Wow.
Before that cut, paucity, I don't think I ever had that in my vocabulary.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever used it.
I guess that's what I need to get on SportsCenter.
Yeah.
Paucity.
There's one reason.
He throws Zach Neto out there. For those that don't watch Angels games, because I would imagine, what would you say, 95% of the audience not staying up late for the Angels?
No, even with Mike Trout, I don't think so.
Yeah, not a lot of people catching it. Zach Neto, shortstop for the Angels. Fine bat, 19 homers this season. You know, the 757 OPS doesn't scream a lot. If you're looking at batting averages, you'll hate him. And if you look at his strikeout totals, strikeout rate, you'll hate him too. It's basically you're getting a guy like Turner without the Turner contract where you've got him under control, where Turner's been better at getting on base in like totality. If you talk about his time as a Philly versus Neto over the last 4 years, Neto's done it better this year. He's not helping you on base that much. He's striking out a ton. Can be boom or bust in terms of hitting. And, oh, by the way, he's got 15 errors this season at shortstop.
Yeah.
So that sure-handed fielding shortstop
Ain't
is
so
not
sure-handed.
there with Neto. It's like, do I need that guy? And then if you bring him in
that
at
feels
short,
redundant to me.
feels like what you have.
Yeah.
It's like we're adding a right-handed bat here. Who's going out to the outfield? Like, is it Turner now? All of a sudden we're talking about the outfield?
Yeah.
Shortstop? Are you sending Bohm back in the deal, just swapping parts there?
Yeah, I don't know how it would fit. That just feels redundant to me. It doesn't feel like one of those moves that's going to benefit you enough to make so many changes.
It feels desperate.
Yeah.
It feels desperate.
And there
where
is
we're at.
desperation.
There is desperation for it. But Zach Neto, like when Jeff Passan throws it out there, what can we realistically do? Dutsy, you come in today, and you're talking to me like, yeah, I can't believe we're even walking down this path.
Like you said, just desperation because there's nothing else out there. Let's just go for the guy that doesn't even fit here. Again, defensively, not good enough. Offensively, it's more of what you have. And, right, fans keep saying it just because there's no other better options out there. If we go into October with Zach Neto in that lineup, they're going to hate him because he's going to be the guy constantly striking out. He'll hit an occasional home run here and there, but he's not worth what you're going to have to give up. Paston said in that clip, he's got multiple years of control. That's going to take a high-end prospect. I'd rather use that somewhere else than spend it on Neto, who I don't think is going to add much to your lineup.
Yeah, you got limited high-end
You
prospects.
don't make a move just to make a move. You don't do it. You do it when the right move is there.
This one's not the right one.
It doesn't sound like it to me.
So we talked.
What do I know? But geez.
Does it sound like it to me? I just can't believe Neto's the name at this point. Feels kind of like a sad state of affairs. Like this is the state of baseball where this is the hitter that you're
when that's the one.
Get.
Yeah, when that's the name at the top of the list.
Yeah,
you're going. Nah, this is thin.
Please, is this the real Jeff Passan? Is this a real clip? Let this be an AI clip that an Angels fan put out there. I'm curious for you, though, because we talked about it, and I wanted to get people in at 610-632-0975, the panic meter. Because you talk about the ebbs and flows. We opened up, hey, ebbs and flows of 162. 3-9 since the All-Star break. You've seen, we had the worry about Wheeler earlier in the week. He goes 3 innings. He says it's just a bad day. You know, they tried to throw out the excuse that he was nauseous.
Were there 51 games left?
There are 57, 52.
They played 59 games or 109
109.
games.
So there's 53. 53.
53 games.
53.
They said to me no math. I mean, there's a lot of baseball left. There's a lot of baseball left. And there's no savior.
No.
So your savior's going to have to be, your problem's going to have to be solved from within. So guys got to step up. Plain and simple. Step up. There's guys that are getting paid to be doing better. They need to do better. And other guys need to chip in. It can't be those main guys every night. Not in baseball. No way. It ain't football.
I like to be like solution oriented in terms of the approach of talking about, all right, they have a problem. Like, how do you fix it?
I agree with you. I'm the same way.
My fixing, like, in life, someone comes to me with a problem, I'm very bad at just being the listener.
Don't come to me with a problem. Come to me with a solution.
Or if you're coming to me with a
multiple.
problem and you don't want to hear my solution to your problem, don't come to me with your problem.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and fix it. I've had this come up a number of times in my life.
Yep.
Mostly with women, where it's like they come to your problem, you want to be a listener? I'll listen to your problems, but I'm going to try and fix it. If you don't want me to try and fix your problems, don't come to me with your problems.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to try and fix it. With the Phillies right now, you come to me with your problems, I'm sitting like, man, you are up the creek. Like, I don't really have a
and I ain't got a paddle for you.
No, I don't have a paddle for you. I got no ideas in terms of
and the
fixing it.
current's strong going in the wrong way right now, the way they're playing since the break.
Passon on ESPN also mentioned, hey, they probably need a starter, they need bullpen arm or two, and they need a bat. Is that all?
Yeah, it's like, okay, why don't you just say we need a whole new team?
Right, yeah.
Minus two guys.
I could use a house, a car.
Yeah. I don't need much, but I need all of this.
Right.
And is that possible to get two of those three that are a significant upgrade?
Enough to close the gap, and that's the thing. We talked.
Yeah, I just don't see it.
We talked last week. So where do you go?
I think you gotta stand pat until you see if something else shakes loose by Monday. And if it doesn't, maybe you make a minor deal just to kind of shake things up a little bit, but you got what you got. And you hope that this group gets their game back in order at the right time, puts themselves in position to be in the postseason, then gets their game in order.
If we went 1 to 10, and we'll take this from you at 610-632-0975 coming up. Jump in on the phone lines, Davis on the text line, the voice memos, name, location, occupation. Panic meter 1 to 10.
Right now, as we sit here on the 30th of July, deadline Monday, 7.8.
7.8.
Yeah.
This is the first time I think I'm on the other side of 5, the higher level of 5.
Yeah, because this group hasn't gotten it done.
Right.
As part of the issue.
Yeah. Like I mentioned, the old car. Taking it for the inspection.
Yeah.
Every time you're sweating.
It's going to fail the brakes this time or the rotors.
Right.
And it's going to cost you a couple grand.
You got to go find someone you know to fix it for you.
Your Hampa needs to be replaced.
I don't even know. Like, they could literally get me for
They could tell you Hampa is
and I'd be
broken.
like, yeah, makes sense.
What does that do? Well, it moves the Hampa to the...
Exactly. You heard me with the tux earlier.
I guess I need that.
That's basically what you said to me with the tux earlier. You're getting this? I was like, I got no idea.
Yeah, the cummerbund.
I need a tux, please. There's another move. Bob Nightingale was on with us yesterday, and it was a great conversation in the sense that he gave us answers. They were short, they were to the point, and they also didn't make me feel any better, but they were answers to the questions we had.
Yeah, you can't get mad at Bob for giving you the answer.
Right.
Just because you don't like the answer.
Right, I didn't like the answer, but he gave it to us.
Yeah.
He talked about a potential reunion for the Phillies, and I am so out on it. I am so beyond out on it. We'll play that for you coming up.
Reese?
No. Huh. Which also, God bless Reese, the good fun times we had. I'm out on that too.
Okay.
Guys hitting under 200.
Yeah.
I got enough guys that are going to strike out and not hit on this team.
Captain
Please.
Launch Angle.
Yeah. Coming up next, we'll get to that. Plus, your panic meter at 610-632-0975. He's Jason Martinez. I'm Ray Dunn. This Middays with Martinez today. Johnny Marks back tomorrow.
winning.
Go ahead, take it over. You're the boss.
He was talking to Hagan for that, right?
No, he's talking to me.
Oh, you?
Yeah. So I said, let's take another phone call. He goes, why? I said, I want to take a call. And he goes, all right, go ahead, take it over. You're the boss.
For the longest time, I thought he was going after Hagan for
Nah,
that.
that one's me. That one was me. He gets frustrated with me at times.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't sound like your guys' dynamic. It'd be frustrating when we're on hole 8 and you've got him by a couple of strokes and you haven't played in years.
We played a bunch of times together. I like playing golf with him. It's funny.
We'll set that up out there at 1912. I got to be back out there next week. I'm doing Quizzo over there.
Yeah.
Harry's been out one time for Quizzo.
I hate to do it to him. That's bad form by him.
It's bad form by him. Called him out and hopes he shows up.
I know he's not dry anymore.
No.
He's back on the sauce.
Yeah. He got through the whole month, though. I got to give him credit.
Yeah, to some degree. Wasn't it just clears?
Well, he wasn't drinking. I think he was totally off the booze.
Was he? Okay.
I think he was totally. I think he. I don't know if he did any of the non-alcoholic beers or anything like that, but I know he was totally clean.
All right.
Because that's what made me feel even worse about the fact that
I don't know how I'm buying it.
I didn't last 12 hours, and the guy went an entire month.
You were horrible.
I was awful. I forgot. New Year's Day.
How could you forget?
Because I was off New Year's Eve. New Year's Day happens. I wake up. I go down to 2nd Street. What am I going to do?
You would think the thing you're quitting, though, you would realize,
right.
I just ordered a beer. I'm not supposed to do that.
Well, it was shot. That's what it was.
Even worse.
Well, I took it. I was like, oh, I wasn't supposed to do that.
You're starting with a shot? Is that how you get going?
It's a 2nd Street.
What, are you playing catch-up?
Probably at that point. All those mummers been out all day. I was hungover. It was New Year's.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to play catch-up in my drinking days, it would have been beer and a shot.
Yeah. What was the shot of choice for you?
A nice shot of chilled Jaeger.
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm not much of a shot guy.
Yeah. I'm not much of a Jaeger guy, so
yeah.
we're even on that
like
one.
Tequila? No.
No, I can't anymore.
Did that once. Ran right to the bathroom.
I did. I was out in Chicago. I did the Chicago handshake. Was it Malort is the Chicago handshake? Casey boy. Is it Malort that's the Chicago handshake? Do you know?
Is he out there?
No, that's that's the. No, that's different. I'm talking about the shot, the liquor.
Yeah, let's sit
down, Casey
Turn
boy.
your microphone on. What's the matter with you?
The Casey boy wanders down here.
You're a radio guy.
Yeah.
Turn the microphone on, for God's sake.
Yeah, no, he doesn't turn on his own microphone. We've got.
Come on, you know me better
I know
than
this.
that. No, you can't.
Hey, bud. You got Hair Jordan.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not a Jaeger guy either.
You look good.
So do you, man.
Yeah, thank you. We're both full of crap, but yeah. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. Well, what's this handshake? The Chicago handshake?
Yeah, it's a shot and a beer. I just forget what it was. I'll look it up. You guys catch up.
The only time I was ever in Chicago was 2010 for the Cup final when Roy Halladay threw the perfect game.
Wow.
And I was watching it during Game 1 of the Flyers Chicago game in the bowels of the United Center with Don Cherry and all the Canadian reporters. They were all excited because Halladay played for Toronto. And all the hockey reporters are from Toronto.
The last time I was in Chicago was when Preston and Steve were being inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame with Dan Patrick.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I was excited to meet Dan Patrick.
Yeah, very cool.
All
Seems like a cool guy.
He was really, really nice, man.
Yeah. Well, you're in the biz. They're nice to people in the biz.
Yeah, they are. And honestly, like one of the best burgers I've ever had was at Harry Carey's.
Yeah, that's where we went the one night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the Smith and Walensky's there right on the river.
We
one night for dinner and ended up at Harry Carey's.
We went to Gibson Steakhouse. That might have been one of the best steaks and easily the best dessert, second best dessert I ever had in my life.
2 tables over from us was Jonathan Taves, and he was the captain of the team at the time.
No kidding.
Yeah, we were going to send him a bunch of shots and stuff. Listen, I called my old boss and I said, "Can I put the dinner on the corporate card?"
As Philadelphians, are we allowed to compliment other cities?
I feel like we can.
Depends on what city you're talking about.
Chicago's a great city.
Great city.
Elite summer city.
Clean.
Yeah. Elite summer city. Yeah, I
wouldn't be caught there in the winter.
No.
We were right there on the water. We did the boat ride thing. We had the old lady out there.
Yeah.
And we went to go home after Game 2, and she booked the flight for the wrong day.
Oh. So when
we're getting ready to go to the airport, and I look at the plane ticket. I go, "What's today's date?" And she's like, "Oh, it's June 2nd." I go, "Well, why does this plane ticket say June 3rd?" Because they got a game on June 3rd at home. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
We ended up fixing it and getting out of there, but.
Similar story.
You, the old lady will drive you nuts.
Yeah. I did that out of North Carolina. Greenville, North Carolina, I was supposed to fly out of. Booked it for Greenville, South Carolina. Good thing I noticed before I got to the airport. I was supposed to be home that day for my brother's graduation party.
That shouldn't happen. There shouldn't be a Greenville, North and South Carolina.
Well, I appreciate you letting me get off the hook on that one for not checking.
Yeah, that should never happen.
Yeah,
that's like Westchester and Westchester in New York. It's too close.
It is close.
It is. But all right. Well,
but they're both Carolinas.
Which one came first, right? And so whichever one came first, you got to go to the second one and go, sorry, man, it's already taken, You know
what I also found out over the weekend while we're on this topic of similarly named cities? They flipped a coin out in Oregon for whether or not Portland would be named Portland or Boston when they got out there.
Really?
The coin landed for Portland instead of Boston.
Really?
You know how confusing that would have been if there was the Boston, Oregon, and Boston? I feel like they would have had to change their
Trailblazers
name.
and the Boston Celtics?
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about this. Somebody on our show knows somebody that flew to Portland, Maine, thinking that they were going to Portland, Oregon.
Oh.
Wow.
And there was another one who thought they were going to Palm Springs, but ended up flying to Palm something in
Beach?
Florida.
Palm Meadows.
No, Palm Beach in Florida.
Oh, West
Nice.
Palm.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they were flying from Missouri, so I don't know.
They
how
just
you
saw
can-
the palm and they booked.
Yeah.
And honestly, listen, man, I'm not a good reader, but I've never made
I don't
mistakes
read.
like that.
Casey, I have an edict in life, and I think you'll agree with it.
Yeah.
The book has never been better than the movie.
Oh, well, unless you're doing like an audiobook, because I did audiobook of Project Hail Mary, and that was far superior than the movie.
Okay.
And the movie was great. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie.
I don't have the attention span.
I don't.
I'm not there.
And my mind's eye just does not create a good picture.
No.
So
Mine creates a picture, but it's all over the map.
Yeah, all over the map. Like I
don't remember the picture I had when I pick it back up.
No, I tried to read like Game of Thrones and stuff, and I couldn't do it.
I wish I could because it looks relaxing.
Yeah, I can't do it. No, it's
I
so
only read
relaxing that I fall
nonfiction.
asleep.
Yeah.
Nonfiction's the only thing I can read. I want to read about things that happen.
Really?
Yeah. If I'm going to watch something, I'll watch something fiction. But if I'm going to read something, it's going to be nonfiction. I'm reading the Rory book right now. Great stuff.
I'll read like parts of like biographies,
Yeah.
or I'll watch the biography on YouTube.
I would much rather watch.
Quickly, Casey, because
Yes.
we got to get rolling here.
Yeah.
Panic meter for the Phillies. Where's it at?
Oh, dude, it's really high. It's really high. When you're losing 3 games like that, right? When you're putting up 4 hits and losing 1-0, where you're giving up late leads,
6-run lead.
6-run leads. My panic meter is really high. When the star of your team is saying we need help,
Not great.
not great,
Not great.
not great.
I don't mind that he says it. Just don't want to be publicly.
No. You can say
can
it
all believe
internally.
it.
You can go to your GM. You can go to your president of baseball operations. So, we need help. But you don't say that to the reporters.
As a star player, that's what you do.
Yeah.
You're that conduit from the clubhouse to the GM.
Yeah. I don't think he meant to do that. I think he misspoke.
I think he's made a couple of mistakes, and I think Dombrowski's made a couple of mistakes with slips of the tongue.
I think they're just being too brutally honest for 2 people they don't like.
But really, when I started to panic was when JT Realmuto ran back to second base. I was
there that night.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I mean, what are you? You should know better than this.
Huh?
And before I get out of here, what is that? The Chicago handshake? What is it?
It is Malort and an old style tall boy.
Okay,
It's
there
a
it
beer.
is.
Yeah. So
I don't know what any of that is. but
Yeah, it was horrible. I thought I was going to throw up.
Deep dish pizza. That's as far as I go.
All right,
right, gentlemen.
Casey Boy, Preston and Steve Show. Great to see you. Martinez, we come back. I'm getting a lot of people that want the update on Jason Martinez. So I want to give you the opportunity to talk to our audience about what's going on with you. And we also got update from what's going on out there at training camp. We'll get Vic Fangio coming up on the other side. He's Jason Martinez. I'm Ray Dunn. Middays without Marks today on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The slide continues. I'm Brandon Dutz, and the Phillies continue their terrible stretch of baseball, getting swept by the Marlins, blowing a 6-0 lead. Jesus Luzardo was pitching well up until the 7th inning. Then it all fell apart, with the Marlins taking the lead in the 8th, leading to their 4th straight series loss coming out of the All-Star break. This team is a mess right now, and that's putting things lightly. Now there's extra heat on the team as Don Mattingly responded to Bryce Harper's comments about the team needing help, saying players like being GMs, making calls, and spending other people's money, which raised a few eyebrows. Luckily for the Phillies, they get a much-needed off day today and will start a series with the Orioles in Baltimore tomorrow. Training camp continues for the Eagles as they prepare for the season. Tim McManus joined Unfiltered yesterday to share how Jalen Hurts looked on day 1.
An encouraging start for Jalen Hurts. We are seeing so much under center from Jalen Hurts, so much pre-snap motion, a ton, relatively speaking, to what we've seen in the past, of throws over the middle by Hurts. There was some positive.
According to The Athletic, LeBron James and ESPN are closing in on a deal for a documentary similar to The Last Dance that will feature the Philadelphia 76ers. This update is sponsored by the New Jersey Department of Health. Public Health works behind the scenes building a healthier future for everyone. One mission, working for you. Learn more at nj.gov/health. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Welcome back in. Middays Middays with Martinez today. Mr. Martinez in. I'm Ray Dunn. Johnny Marks back tomorrow. We got Harry Jordan producing the program. Getting into the fun of the Phillies early on. I mean,
that's fun?
Yeah. This is supposed to be fun,
supposed to
right?
be fun.
Everything else is supposed to be fun. Yesterday, Bill on Unfiltered did the Twitter poll of what are you most excited for, and it was like Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, and Phillies postseason. I was like, having to clarify Phillies postseason there is a real stab in the heart to the Phillies. Nobody's voting for Phillies postseason right now.
Yeah. Well, we're one of the only cities in America with all 4 pro sports teams, where all 4 teams in the last season of their existence made the playoffs.
We're living through an incredible era. Even if people want to tell you you're not, you should be enjoying what's happening here. Even if the fact that, hey.
But we measure on championships.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
We got one this decade. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a couple.
Went to a World Series.
Yeah. Look, we've gone to 3 Super Bowls since 2016. Won 2 of them. I mean, can't complain about that part.
No.
They've done their job.
Yeah, the biggest team in town has done its part.
No doubt.
To make this.
No doubt.
And maybe we get more of.
And I think that because they've done their part, it's put pressure on the other teams in this town. I think it's one of the reasons why they were as aggressive as they were with LeBron.
The Sixers are ready to fall out of people's attention span entirely.
Yeah, I agree.
I think if they don't trade for Jaylen Brown, because Sean was literally the day they trade for Jaylen Brown. Hilarious. He's screaming and yelling at the opening hour of the show. John and I are laughing at him like, what do you expect them to do? They're stuck. Paul George is going to be here. Bede's going to be here. This is what you got. We literally were laughing at the guy. He's like, you should call Boston. We're like, oh, yeah, sure. Boston's going to take that call. Sure enough, Sean Bray's calling for change. Change was there within 12 hours.
And we didn't see the long play.
No.
That was the first step of the long play to get LeBron and now bring others and try and make this all pay off, make it all worth the ag of when it all started with Sam Hinkie in the process.
Please.
And Nerlens Noel.
Wrap this back.
Jahlil Okafor and all those guys.
Wrap this 30 for 30 up. All right? This is
Markelle Fultz.
Which, by the way, did you see ESPN apparently is closing in on a deal with LeBron for a Last Dance-esque documentary.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
I love that. And they're going to be on primetime 38 times, the maximum allowed, which is insane. I saw NBC Sports Philadelphia maybe adding another person to their broadcast team as a result. There's an economic boon to the city as well. So I'm so happy about it. I'm so for it. And I'm a believer that a rising tide raises all boats.
Except maybe the Phillies right now.
Well, right now, maybe not, but
yeah. Hey,
at some point. It does legitimize the city to another degree.
Oh, for sure.
Because there is in case you didn't know, there's a narrative about Philadelphia and playing here.
No, it didn't come up every time some other city reacted to LeBron signing with the Sixers.
And the thing is one of the narratives that gets less talked about is the narrative that if you win here, look, if you win anywhere, it's a big deal, obviously. And it was a big deal when he won in Cleveland, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But if you win here, it is maybe a little bit different than some of the other cities.
For sure.
But I imagine it's like that in Boston. It's like that in New York. But I don't think it's like that in Miami. Like, I've seen some of these parades of some of these other teams, and it's a 3.5-block parade, and 78 people show up.
The warm weather hockey teams winning? And how do those parades look compared to what you would think it'd be here in Philadelphia?
Yeah, that can happen.
A little different.
In non-traditional markets, they call that.
All right. Well, while we're on the Phillies upsetting us, I want to let Dr. Matt Elf, our friend Greg from Bethlehem, in on that because he's none too thrilled with, I think, the farm system, which is a call we've gotten from quite a few times. Greg, how are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, well, I could be better, but I also could be worse.
Well, you're talking about shots, and I sort of prefer Tennessee honey, but...
you still drinking the Tennessee honey as much as you were?
I don't know. It depends on the day.
You got to go with like a nice Jim Beam. I did a commercial. I did a voiceover one time for Jim Beam, and I'll give it to you. I had to channel my Sam Elliott. You know who Sam Elliott is from Roadhouse?
Oh,
guy
yeah.
that had the longer hair. Patrick Swayze was the main bouncer. He was the older guy.
Yeah.
It was.
They got the knife in the back.
Yeah, it was Jim Beam, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
Oh yeah.
Get in touch with your masculine side.
Yeah.
That was my read.
Tennessee honey very smooth, but I got to thinking about the trade deadline and the lack of equity we have in the farm system. And I was thinking back, and the last time I can remember significant call-ups was Jimmy and Ryan and Cole. And what was that, 2008?
Well, before that.
Yeah, early 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, Rollins was probably 05. Utley was probably 06. It took a little longer for Howard because Jim Thome was here.
A few years earlier. I think the timeline's like
04?
02, 01. Rollins is early 2000s. And then Utley's right behind him.
And you pick
Howard's
up Victorino
05. And then
off the, yeah.
But that makes it even worse because it's that much longer that we haven't had any major call-ups. Who's responsible for the farm system?
Well, the GM and the scouting staff, and ultimately the GM and president. They're the ones that control all of that. They hire the scouts and the development team.
I mean, it seems to me that, that's the major issue here. We are always complaining about the farm system, and it never gets better.
Yeah, you want that organizational equity.
Yeah.
To be able to make deals. The last guy I remember that was the untradeable guy that you couldn't trade that was in the FAR system was Kyle Drabeck.
Oh, that was fun.
Remember that?
Yeah.
We can't get rid of Kyle Drabeck.
Couldn't trade Don Brown. That was another one I remember.
That was another one. And he had a good fleeting moment.
I mean, Andrew Painter over the last couple of years has been the guy you couldn't trade.
Yeah, exactly.
And then came up, and we saw what this year's been.
Yeah. And look, maybe you'll learn from it. But, hey, no, you got to have that organizational equity to be able to make deals. That's part of the, teams that are selling are usually selling for a future promise.
And that's the one thing. If we could complain all we want about the Dodgers, the way they spend money, right now they got more of what people want than you do.
Who's the second baseman? Scott
Kingery.
Yeah, and they signed him too early.
Yeah, they gave him, 7 years, $28 million, something
just didn't
like
make
that.
sense. I remember it happening, and we're just kind of going, why?
A new organization for a long time.
Yeah.
After it didn't work out.
I mean, obviously, people will point to the NOLA contract.
Yeah.
Kingery was right after Utley, so maybe you're trying to replace him.
It was the promise of something new. The young, this guy's going to be, and you see these contracts around baseball a lot. Like Weatherhold out there in St. Louis got, I think, 8 years, 100 something after he came up, and he had a good first couple months. I was saying baseball heaven didn't show up for him to get into the All-Star game.
Wow.
All they love baseball. They can't give their young player a chance to get there. But they were trying. The Phillies were trying to be ahead on a guy they thought was going to be really good. The problem is, he just didn't end up being really good. I remember Buster Olney said he was Dustin Pedroia with more talent.
Yeah,
it's that's a hell of a comp for him.
Yeah, that's unfair.
Yeah,
that's unfair to the player.
Ultimately, then now that's all I remember him for, unfortunately, and the Kingery jersey that I think my brother still has. That's about all I got.
You went in early on that, huh?
Yeah,
or did you get that on the rack when it was worthless?
That might have been. For one of your favorite, one of your old co-hosts, that might be a little Bobo. The Kingery jersey that we got there.
Yeah,
it might not have been
Bobo
the real.
Hosts.
Might not have been a real thing. I want to get Davis on the text line for the panic meter because you were at a 7.8.
7.8.
Casey Boy said high, which for me, Casey Boy, if he's worried, that's probably like a 9. He usually goes in a bit of the extremes. He talked about his Philadelphians. Can we compliment other cities? His Philadelphians, Casey Boy tends to go back and forth, swinging the pendulum a little bit here on where he's at. I would say he's probably somewhere near a 9. What do we got on the Davis Honda text line?
Josh from Northeast Philly says at an 8.9, this team's an absolute mess.
8.9 is probably a little bit taller than where I'm at right now, but I can't really be upset with anyone that's there because we talked about it off the air. This is like a TV show that the writing has just started to get worse. That we've known what this show is. We've watched the characters. We know the characters. We know their shortcomings. And the writing just feels very similar and dry at this point.
So you need to fire the writers mid-season and bring in new writers of the show. Well, that doesn't work good.
And they tried to fire a writer. They fired Rob Thompson.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing right now on social media, the joke of you just need to fire another manager. This team will figure
it worked for a period of time.
Yeah.
Why do coaches get fired mid-season in sports so often? Because it works a lot of the time.
And you work in the sport that's probably the biggest culprit
the
of
worst, yeah. I mean, hockey, the average tenure of an NHL coach is under 2 years. And that's bananas.
It is. It's absurd. It's absurd. So we'll continue to talk Phillies. We'll get into more Phillies there. I want to get into some camp, but Jason, as I'm working with you, I'm getting texts, I'm getting messages of people that want to hear from you about what's going on with you. And not they want to hear sports. I got a couple of, let's get into some Flyers with him, but they want to hear from you. Obviously, you tweeted out earlier this week about your battle and the next stage of it. Could you update our audience on what's going on? Because a lot of people have reached out to me like, hey, we heard a little bit from Jason yesterday when he was on with you guys, but they want to hear from you in total of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it was something that I had to sit on for a couple of weeks. I've known for a couple of weeks about my battle with colorectal cancer. I was diagnosed at stage 3B colorectal cancer back in December of 2024. And I went through 16 chemo treatments and 28 oral chemo and radiation treatments, and that got me to what they call NED, which is no evidence of disease, which was around last October, Hockey Fights Cancer time, and I was clean. There's that blood marker CEA, which is carcinoembryonic embryonic antigen, has been a pretty reliable number for me, and my numbers were in the normal range. Then we saw a little bit of a spike in that number as I was in a watch and wait protocol. It spiked up to 13. So we did some tests, and we found out that I had a recurrence, which led to having what's called an LAR resection surgery, and they removed 10 inches of my colon, a temporary ileostomy, and the recovery from that had some complications, but we got that under control after about 6 weeks. And since then, I feel really good, like the best I have felt in 3 years. Dare I say normal. You know, where I wake up in the morning, I feel good. I feel good all day with good energy. And I feel good pretty much until I go to bed at night every night. And it's been that way for a while. But as I go through, I had to have some tests done again. And my blood marker CEA spiked again from 13 to 47. Normal is 0 to 4.7. So that was concerning. So they did a procedure to check down there to make sure everything. And usually you don't know when they do a colonoscopy or a flex sigmoidoscopy, which is what I had, that they weren't even there. Like, you get it done, you go to sleep, wake up, no clue. This time I knew. I asked her, I said, did you go on an archaeological dig? She's like, pretty much. But it was clean. All the pathology was good. My pelvic area was clear. They did a chest x-ray because I had a nodule on my lung when this all started, which is common. But I've had some increase in the size of about 4 to 5 nodules in my lungs. It went from tiny, small, 6 millimeters, the largest, to 8 millimeters. So my oncologist was concerned, but you're not going to be able to get a needle in there to do a biopsy with something that small and risk collapsing your lung to get a viable, sample size to test. So we waited 6 weeks, and I had another CT scan on July 10th, followed by the next couple of days later, blood work again, which I always get with the CEA test, and followed by an appointment with my oncologist. And the CEA scan or the CT scan showed a little bit further growth, again, minimal. That one that went to 8 went from 8 to 9.2 or 9.3 millimeters. But my CEA level jumped from 47 to 858, which knocked me out of my chair and obviously is very concerning. So at this point, I have now moved from stage 3 colorectal cancer to stage 4. So I'm stage 4 colorectal cancer, metastatic to the lung. We don't know if it's metastatic to anywhere else to explain that 858 number just yet. I have a PET scan tomorrow, basically from the top of my skull to the middle of my thigh, where they will check my entire body and see if it's in my liver or my kidneys. And, I'm very frank with my oncologist, and we've been that way. I asked him to be that way, and I asked him about the prognosis, and my prognosis is 6 months to 2 years. And obviously, that's very hard to hear, as a 54-year-old guy with still, my youngest is 15 years old, and I don't know if I'm going to see her graduate high school. I don't. And again, I feel good now. There's no upside in starting chemotherapy right now because doing that would only affect my quality of life right now, and I feel good. Hence why I'm here today. And it wouldn't do anything to impact my quantity of life if we started now. So we would begin that when I become symptomatic. I don't know what that looks like with metastatic to the lung or if it's anywhere else. I don't know. So there's still, for me, a lot of unknowns. What I know is that when I got on this roller coaster, I had hoped that I'd go on the roller coaster and I'd get back to the station house and get off. I'm never going to get off it. This will be the rest of my life. I'll be in some form of treatment or chemo for the remainder of my time here, whatever that is, whether that's 6 months or 2 years, or I, beat the odds and go beyond that. They're making advancements at all times. So I don't know how much time I have left. I really don't. I could go downhill very quickly. I don't know. It's happened to people. So, I'm trying to get things in order and be prepared as best I can, process all this information, and try and live every day like it's your last. It's hard to do. I see people that know that they are terminal, and they get to that point where they live that way, and it's hard for me to get there because, to me, that feels like I'd be giving up. You know what I mean? And I'm not ready to give up. I want to fight. I want to be there for my daughter's graduation. I'm probably never going to be a grandfather. I'm not going to die old. I know that now, and I've accepted that. But this is where I am. This is the hand that I've been dealt. And does it suck? Yeah. I've got great support around me with my family and, those close to me, and the community has been unbelievable, and the support has been unbelievable. But, I wish I had a better update. But that's just not the case. So it's been a lot to process. It's been very emotional. But we're going to keep fighting and try and do everything we can to keep it at bay and see what we can do here. But there's a lot of it that's out of my control. It's just out of my control. There's not much I can do.
And I've only known you through this fight. Like, you and I, I've obviously known you for a long time in the sense of I feel like I know you because I listened to you for so many years, and there's so many different things. I feel like every time you're a producer here, it's like, well, Martinez used to do it like this. This is a good way to do it. Especially producer Mike, that was a way, Salciunas always said, hey, Martinez used to do this. So I feel like I've known you for years, but I've only actually personally known you through this fight. Yeah. And the resolve that you've shown, and also the openness. I think for so many people, they've identified with your fight because they've known someone that's gone through a fight, and they're listening to you, and they can relate to it. And I think that's, the community you speak of. There's so many people that, it feels like when you're talking, especially with us after having you in so much the fall and knowing all the work you do with the Flyers, like, people during the run were like, I'm just so happy for Jason. It's like, this is awesome for Jason. Do you have any updates for me on Jason? The community is so much behind you. We're all so much behind you. I know there's so many cliches I could throw out there, but the resolve you've shown, the fight you've shown has been, just remarkable to watch. And I know you're going to keep fighting it absolutely right now.
Yeah, I decided very early on in it that I was going to be open about it and transparent about it, and it wasn't going to be pretty at times. And there are some things I keep private completely, but because I thought I could help people. And selfishly, I knew that me telling my story, going through it, could also help a lot of other people or cause action for other people to go get checked, to advocate for your health. If something's not wrong, don't think it's just going to go away. Go to the doctor. Don't do what I did. I was in denial for a long period of time. And maybe that's one of the reasons I am where I am. I don't know. I'll never know. But I'm going to handle this with dignity. I've always been very transparent on the air, even before being sick, because I just thought, from my perspective, the people that I admired when I grew up listening to radio or whatever were the people that were authentic. And this is as authentic as it's going to get. And I'm sorry if people are driving right now and it's a downer to hear me say that I was given a prognosis of 6 months to 2 years. I'm sorry about that. And it's something that I struggle with and how much I should talk about it, because I know it's an uncomfortable subject for people to hear about. I do. But I'm going to keep pushing and I'm going to keep working. When I found out that day, I was scheduled to do a podcast with Harry, and I had literally walked in the door at 11:53. We're supposed to start at noon, and I told them, and there was audible gasp, and it was emotional, and I was very raw and emotional, but I said, let's do the show. They're like, you're going to do the show? And I'm like, yeah, I love doing what I do for a living. Why am I going to let that take that away from me right now too. If I can't do it because I'm sick or I'm in treatment or whatever, that's a different story. But right now, nothing changes. You know, I'm going to work. I'm going to do everything I can to put out as good a content as I can and keep people updated on it. And, you know, we'll see where it goes. But it's 100% real. And I know a lot of people are going through it and are going through similar things or different challenges in life. And look, I'm not tougher than anybody else. I'm no more of a warrior than anyone else. I just happen to be one of the people of many that have had to face this challenge. And you got to decide whether you want to rise up and take it on or you don't. And I decided I wanted to, and I wanted to do it publicly. And I think it's helped a lot of people, and it's helped me a lot because I'm a strength in numbers guy.
And there's certainly numbers behind you.
Yeah.
I think I know that you realize that. I don't know maybe if you'll ever realize the extent to which it's tough to conceptualize.
It's very humbling.
But there's so many numbers behind you. I know that I saw the GoFundMe going around on social media, and I believe that the Fanatic's going to share that one out
That'd be great.
with your comfortability with that. But I know we're going to share that out, and I know I'm reading right now the YouTube chat, just the people talking about how much your honesty is.
I would read it,
inspiring
but
to
I'd probably
people.
lose it.
Yeah. So with that, you say you want to keep working. You feel good. You want to work. I don't want to put 4 hours to thinking about that. I want to get you to break down what you break down with Harry on Locked On Eagles and get you some of the fun of what Fangio had to say today. But I did want to make sure that there's so many people out there that are inspired by the journey that you've gone on, that are fighting alongside you, that are pushing for you, that I wanted to give them that opportunity because I was saying my message, hey, saw Jason's tweet. What's going on? Could I get an update? I want to give you certainly that space today.
I put out a couple weeks ago that it was a bad medical day and I needed time to process it. And I was getting a lot of messages from people saying, hey, man, what's going on? What's going on? And I just wasn't ready until I put it out 2 nights ago and on yesterday's Flyers Daily. I didn't know if I had the words or the ability to communicate it yet because it's a lot to process. Like I want to live. I want to be there for my daughter's graduation. I want to grow old with my wife. I don't know if I'll get that chance to do that. I really don't. It's a huge question for me right now. But it's not going to be from a lack of effort or trying. And I'm going to keep pushing.
Your resolve to live is the thing that I think has been that strikes people. So at least strikes me so much. It's just what you continue to battle every day. So we're going to give you the opportunity to work in sports and continue to talk sports coming up. We'll get into a number of different
just like
things.
For everybody else, it's a distraction for me.
Yeah,
and it's good. I play a lot of music now. That's a great distraction for me.
You're ripping the guitar after you were on with us yesterday, right?
Yep, tons. So I'm doing a lot of sim racing still. So anybody out there that's in iRacing, I'm still in the lobbies racing. Probably
set Porsche records over at the KOP Mall.
So I'm living every day and walking, and it was just down in Myrtle Beach. Had a blast. Getting in the ocean, which is very spiritual to me, and just trying to take this on with all the dignity that I can and help as many people as I can.
And talking some football coming up. Let's get into some football, cuz.
Yeah,
it's starting to feel like football season.
It was a little chilly last night, and I was kind of like, you start to feel little nips here and there. And I got a message yesterday from Travis Sanheim, too. And he's like, I'll talk to you in a couple weeks. I'm coming back in a couple weeks. I'm like, geez, camp's right around the corner.
Yeah. Start to get ready for it. Let's talk some camp coming up. We got some from Fangio and Tim McManus, our buddy.
Is T-Mac on today?
He was on with Unfiltered yesterday. Those afternoon guys get everything they want. Yeah, Bill.
Tim's one of my favorite people.
Yeah. You're going to love what he had to say about the offense. That's coming up next for you. He's Jason Martinez. I'm Ray Dunn. Middays Marks, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Before baseball continues, I'm Brandon Dutz, and the Phillies continue to slide, getting swept by the Miami Marlins. Jesus Luzardo was pitching well up until the 7th inning, where it all fell apart, and the Marlins took the lead in the 8th, leading to their 4th straight series loss. The Phillies have now lost 7 of their last 8 games, continuing to find new ways to lose. It's becoming clearer by the day that the Phillies need to add to the roster, and fast, with the trade deadline coming up in just 4 days. Bob Nightingale joined Middays yesterday to share what relievers Dave Dombrowski could target.
I can see Hoffman. He's pitching a lot better now, too. They're familiar with him. Some people can be gun shy because of what happened, in Philly, conflicts in big games. They could get him and an outfielder, too.
They'll look to reset on a much-needed off day today, and will start a series in Baltimore with the Orioles tomorrow. Day 2 of training camp kicks off for the Birds as they prepare for the season, and according to The Athletic, LeBron James and ESPN are closing in on a deal for a documentary similar to The Last Dance that will feature the Philadelphia 76ers. This update is sponsored by the New Jersey Department of Health. Public health works behind the scenes building a healthier future for everyone. One mission working for you. Learn more at nj.gov/health. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Martinez today. He's Jason Martinez. I'm Ray Dunn, hanging out with you. Johnny Marks back tomorrow. We got Hera Jordan producing the program today. And I got to say, it was last Friday. We were trying to do Football Guy Friday. Johnny was out. It was Sean and I doing the show. And we were like, you know what I'm starting to feel? I'm starting to feel the itch for football. You're starting to feel – you remember you were here, I think, the Friday before the 49ers game where it hit you like, man, if things don't go right,
it's over.
It's over.
And we're waiting till September.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel the itch of like, you know what I have to lean on coming up? Football.
It really sets your schedule.
Yep.
Because it's the rigidity of the NFL, the schedule, even though, geez, they play every day of the week now, it seems like. But still, football season, it's just a transitional time from, okay, I've had enough of the heat, and it's let's get into fall and get the kids back to school and get the schedules going again and get some uniform rigidity to everybody's schedule, and let's lock in. Because not only is it football that's starting, it's the weather that comes with it. It's also college football that comes, which I love. It's also the Sixers now with LeBron around the corner coming. It's, for me, obviously, the Flyers coming off a year where they made the playoffs and won a round. And, like, there's just so much to love about it. There's this time of year, we had the World Cup this year, which was fantastic.
Oh, I don't feel like I got the whole summer where I was like, oh, yeah, nothing but the Phillies going on.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a little bit more to this summer than before. Like, good content-wise, the 3 weeks of LeBron watch, that was
awesome.
I was going to send him a fruit basket wherever he ended up, to be honest with you. The edible arrangement was making it summer.
Just for the conversation.
Right, exactly.
I mean, now that you signed here, it's bigger than a fruit basket.
Yo, absolutely. I don't know if I can actually
What do you buy
him.
the man that can pay for anything, right?
A condo in New York?
Yeah, well, some people have a problem with that. I don't care. I don't care if he lives on Neptune.
I said he could live all the way across the pond.
Yeah.
Send him to Ireland, England, as long as he's here by game time.
Jupiter, I don't care.
Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Wilt lived up there, and he was from here.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, he's from here.
Right. And he was like, yeah, New York, go ahead.
Yeah.
Live in New York. You can make it down here.
By the way, I just want to thank. I read through the comments on the YouTube feed. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate all your kind words and prayers and thoughts and everything. So thank you.
You know, there's nobody behind you, Jason. And I'm
not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
Too much of a pain in the ass to leave.
But you mentioned looking forward to what we got going on this fall. And, like, there's so much. But there's one thing that right now, to me, like, LeBron has happened, and I'm looking forward to that entirely. But I think the shock value of it's starting to wear off for me. It's going to revamp up once I actually see him in a Sixers jersey.
The shock value hasn't worn off for me.
Really?
No. I mean, he is right there with the biggest global superstars of the past 20 years. I mean, could you imagine Jordan coming to be a Flyer? Or Jordan coming to be a Sixer?
No.
Could you imagine Gretzky playing for the Flyers?
No.
Even in their later years?
Yeah.
You know, can you imagine? I'm trying to think of the NFL comp. It's a little bit different, but I guess maybe it would be Tom Brady, and that's a weird one to imagine for us because you beat him twice in the Super Bowl.
It's a weird one to imagine with any of them. Like LeBron wearing a 76ers uniform. When I see it for the first time, that's not a 2K animation of someone. I simulated the 2026-27 season, and the Sixers won it. Or like the Photoshop, like when he is standing, it's probably going to be Media Day because I don't think he's doing an intro presser.
They're going to have Media Day at the Lincoln Financial Field.
Yeah.
First of all, because the amount of media that's going to be in attendance now is going to be through the roof. And it's awesome.
Yeah, how many ESPN? Awesome. I mean, they're going to be doing SportsCenter from Camden, probably.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And we used to do the show and go out there for the first day and their media day and stuff every year when I was doing Middays with Harry, and we talked to all the guys, and there was a decent amount of people there, but nothing overwhelming. And they had Embiid and Ben Simmons and Fultz and all those guys at that time. But this is different.
Yeah,
this guy's a global superstar. He's Cristiano Ronaldo. He's Lionel Messi. He's Federer. He's Max Verstappen. The biggest global stars.
You said it yesterday. He can't walk in any country without being recognized. No. There's nowhere in the world where it's not, wait a second, that's LeBron James. You know who that guy is.
Yep, you know who he is, and He'll be mobbed, whether he's in New Zealand, he's in Japan, he's in Kazakhstan, or Guam.
They're going to find him.
Yeah, they're going to know.
They're going to know
That's
exactly
LeBron.
who it is. So, like, I'm obviously looking forward to that. Maybe it's because I've been so, like, I think in that show and then ensuing getting back to Monday and reacting to it again, like we did probably 10 hours, it felt like, of reaction. And maybe it's like, all right, I've talked to enough people about this. If it's not real, this dream is lasting a long time and somebody's not going to wake me up from it. Like, it feels like this dream is now going on. But I'm excited to see, like, football. I feel like I left on the back burner because we talked about LeBron for 3 weeks.
Which is okay.
Which is good.
Yeah, which is okay.
But when you first get it back, it's like,
it feels a little fresher.
Yeah, I missed you there.
Yeah, it's like your favorite meal. If you eat it every day, you kind of go, okay, maybe if I don't eat it for a week, it'll taste better when I come back to it.
And it does.
And it does.
It tastes great.
Invariably, you go, oh, that's why I love having spaghetti and meatballs.
Especially when I'm hearing, when sweet nothings are being whispered to me about this offense.
Yeah.
And I see Fangio back up there.
So what did Tim say?
Tim McManus was asked about, all right, first day with the new offense. You for doing it as long as you have. One of my favorite cliches about training camp. Well, the defense is going to be far ahead of the offense no matter the year. Defense is always get out to a quick start. You can't really measure the offense the first day.
Pitching's always ahead of hitting.
That's right. Yeah, but he started when it was a longer answer that we cut down here for you, where he started talking about, all right, there were a couple plays early on, offense looked kind of out of sync, and then you started to see it was a brand new offense. Here's Tim McManus with Unfiltered yesterday.
Believe me, it is a brand new offense. I mean, we are seeing so much under center from Jalen Hurts. We are seeing so much pre-snap motion, and we are seeing a ton, relatively speaking, to what we've seen in the past, of throws over the middle by Hurts. There was some positive that was definitely sprinkled in there, and one that sort of encapsulates all of that. It was a play from Hurts to Devontae Smith, where Hurts lines up under center, sprints to his right, looks back to his left. He finds Devontae Smith over the left seam and fires it right on time, the perfect spot with Quinion Mitchell in coverage. And it was just sort of emblematic of, okay, there was pre-snap motion on that one. Hurts is under center there. It's a quick strike, and it was a quick strike over the middle. And these aren't all of the elements that we are necessarily accustomed to seeing with this offense. And so it showed like, okay, like there's some roots there that they can sort of build off of, that there's potential for this offense to increasingly get better and better as the summer goes along. And there was
I like it.
I like it a lot.
I see. There's a couple things there that stuck out to me. First, under center. Mm-hmm. We know the numbers last year under center were considerably better, although smaller sample size, than constantly being in shotgun. And I understand why a quarterback wants to be in shotgun. I do.
Yeah.
To really measure the field, you have a little more time, you feel like, and it worked for him at every other level. But it got to a point here where it was too predictable. So, also, having an offensive coordinator that played the position, I think is different. And here's why. Even though he's not what Jalen Hurts is or played like Jalen Hurts, Sean Mannion, he knows what it's like to be in the rhythm of an offense. He knows what it's like to have the plays called in on time with conviction. He knows what it's like when there's pressure or phantom pressure. So I think that he can have conversations from his experience at a different level than a guy who didn't. It just stands to reason, right?
Right.
It would be like a goalie coach talking to a goalie versus a guy who never played goalie trying to understand the plight of the goalie.
Right.
He understands the plight of the quarterback. And I think that can also translate into the quarterback accepting more change from him because of that fact. So that excites me. It's one of the biggest things I'll be looking for in these donkey preseason games is and how much are they going to show? Probably
how much
not a whole lot. And, like Hurts isn't going to play anyway. But early in the season, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do here. And obviously, A.J. Brown's not here anymore. Devontae Smith's a huge, huge element to this team, as will I think Dallas Goedert will be a big element to this team too, and throwing over the middle because he actually has very good accuracy throwing over the middle and the deep ball.
Which is the crazy part of not doing it. He's been good throwing the ball over the middle field.
Yeah.
They just don't do it. So if he's going with conviction, and that was the word that stuck out to me from Tim McManus, conviction. Yeah. Hey, he saw what he needed to do, he put it in the tight window. Because that's the one thing, if you want to go start picking apart the the Hurts game.
It was a little safe.
Yeah. I'm not going to do I want him to throw more interceptions conversation. But if you're going to throw the ball over the middle of the field, you would reason to believe it's in harm's way more often.
Yep.
There's a chance for more turnovers.
Sure.
Don't turn the ball over no matter what thing. I don't want them to turn the football over. But you have to be willing to put it in harm's way sometimes to move the football up on that 3rd and 8 where it's like, all right, you're not running
go
for
over
a
the
first
top
down
here.
Yeah, we need you to get something over the middle and actually strike and give us something to believe in.
And it changes the defense.
Right.
It thins it out. And I'll use a line that John Tortorella used to use regarding offense. Safe is death. It's death. You have to score points in team sports, you have to incur risk.
Yep.
Now, there's a risk-reward equation. At certain times, you got to go, okay, this is not the time at 3rd and 18 and field position battle, whatever it might be. There is situations, but safe is death. And sometimes, and football, like other team sports, they are a game of mistakes that get capitalized on. And you're hoping to make less mistakes than the other team and capitalize on the mistakes they make. That's the equation to winning. So, if he throws more interceptions as a byproduct, but ultimately throws for more yards and more touchdowns, then the equation plays out properly.
And I think, given with what they did last year, you look at the 3 and outs and all the 3 and outs they went through last year. If one
2 halves where they didn't score,
didn't have a completed pass,
didn't have a completed pass. Yeah, that's what I meant.
That's like, if you look at all the 3 and outs, not having the completed pass, if you go back and say, all right, instead of having 4 3 and outs in this game, you're able to keep the sticks moving here 3 times, and maybe one of those turns into a turnover, or you end up.
You control the game more, too.
Right. You control the game more. You start to get down the field because they were actually good in the red zone last year. That was throughout most of that regular season.
Enough.
They just weren't there.
Yeah.
They weren't showing up enough. And that's the biggest thing for me. Listening to the offense being different with conviction over the middle is the biggest thing I took from McManus yesterday. I'm like sitting there listening. Oh, that's a beautiful, beautiful.
What does that also do for a guy like Saquon Barkley?
You have to respect a little bit more of them attacking downfield.
Again, thins the herd.
Uh-huh.
It felt like last year there were so many runs right into the teeth of the defense that went nowhere because they were predictable. And you didn't see the amount of home runs that Saquon hit the year prior. We'll never see that again. But if you can get this team to have a lot of variance in throwing the ball out of shotgun and under center, over the middle and to the outside, spreading it around, it just helps Saquon. And all of a sudden, he's busting out huge runs again. And I'm not expecting a 2,000-yard season. I think you have a good 1-2 punch there. It could mean all the difference in the world. I'm thrilled about the Jalen Carter extension. That the business side is out of the way. So
great to do that right before too.
It is.
Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome back. This guy just got paid.
He's got the dinner tab tonight.
Yeah.
Hurts
doing the whole $5 bill. Yeah.
we're going to the steakhouse.
Yeah. We'll see you in Center City.
Yeah. We're doing something good. We're gonna have some fun. Go to Smith and Walensky's, right? I went with Zach Wild, the guitar player from Ozzy. We walked in, and that's like a real uppity bar in Rittenhouse. And Zach had been drinking all day, Beck's beer. We walk in there. He's dressed like a biker with a biker cut on and a big chain, big beard. And he walks in through the rotating door and takes a header as soon as he walks in the door. Beer goes flying. All these lawyers and stuff are like, who the hell's this guy? You wanted to go, dude, this dude's worth more dough than all you guys can buy.
Yeah. I'm going to start writing down here what I'm learning. Because the Jim Beam voiceover, we were talking to Greg. I didn't want to totally throw Greg off the beat path where he's going with the Phillies. You did voiceover for Jim Beam?
Yeah. I've done it for, thousands of companies. For years. Yeah.
What would be the one? Is Jim Beam the one that sticks out the most for you? What was the company that was like, oh, yeah, that
I
was
used to do a lot of like network TV promos and stuff. Like coming up tonight on, what was that show? 3 Men and a Baby or what? Not 3 Men and a Baby.
2 and a half Men.
2.5 Men.
2.5.
Yeah, like tonight on 2.5 Men.
Winning.
Tonight on CBS, stuff like that. I did all that kind of stuff.
I didn't even know it was your voice the whole time.
Some movie, short movie trailers, like mini trailers, never the long form. But I never did like the Don LaFontaine, like in a world, 600 men.
You could have though.
Yeah, I wasn't quite deep enough for that. But more promo-y voice was I did some characters on some Nickelodeon shows at times.
Yeah, that's really?
Yeah, Tiny Toons. It wasn't Nicktoons.
Yeah, Nicktoons. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that I probably have listened to your voice about 1,000 different places, I had no idea.
It's funny. One of the characters I did on, I think it was Nicktoons. I'd have to go back and search for my old demos and stuff, but was based on Anthony.
No.
Well, I used to do them like based on impersonations.
Right.
And like combine them with things. But one of them was like, "Oh, what's going on? Yeah, the whole thing." You know, it was kind of based on him.
That's got to go back through and find what that character was. Please let me know
what he looked like.
Was. That's fantastic.
But yeah, I would do stuff like that. I never scored like a big TV show like The Simpsons or anything, but
TV's TV, man.
Nicktoons.
Yeah, TV works.
Yeah, so.
That's the thing I'm envious about because I got like the nasally. I'm not in that like when you speak
register?
it like it makes sense. Like radio guy, it makes sense.
Yeah.
The voice, I'm like that always checks out.
I was blessed with the pipes. A lot of the guys with big voices are smaller guys. Oddly enough, some are bigger, like Orson Welles, but most of them are small guys. So we all have like kind of the same plight that we hear the same thing when people meet us in person. I thought you'd be bigger.
You're not what I envisioned when I heard you.
I thought you'd be a little bigger than 5'7", 180 pounds.
That sucks. I didn't get 6 feet tall, and I didn't get the pipes.
Yeah, and my dad was 6'5".
What?
Yeah.
How tall was your mom?
5 foot.
All right, well, there you go. Yeah.
Mom's height, dad's hair. Hell of a deal.
All right.
Totally screwed.
I want to play two things for you here real quick because it gets to the conversation of Hertz, which I don't know. Are you familiar with Club Hertz?
Club Hertz?
Club Hertz.
Is this a positive club or a negative?
This is a positive club. So there's Club Hertz that's been founded. So you're in on Club Hertz. I assumed you'd be in on Club Hertz. Founded by Sean Brace and our guy Brendan Petrilli. So they founded Club Hertz. It was a way over the summer when the lists were coming out to defend Hertz. They were looking for fellow Hertz defenders.
So he's not ranked 17th.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So they were taking up for him. John Marks has begun Objective Club Hertz, which is the answer to Club Hertz, where it's like, we like the guy, but we're gonna.
He's not perfect.
Right.
Yeah. There's going to be times when he deserves to be criticized.
We haven't found the Hertz hater. Well, at this station, we haven't found the Hertz hater club yet. We're waiting to see where that one develops. There will be a faction at some point. I believe Colin Rilla will get there at some point.
Yep.
I think he's a recovering Hertz hater right now in Objective Club Hertz, and he'll spin off his own club eventually. But these two clips, Jordan Mailata was on Up and Adams with Kay Adams, talking about the energy he's seeing from Jalen Hurts. And then Hurts himself talking yesterday about the team being together. Both of them lead me to a post-A.J. Brown world in which we're seeing more personality and maybe a different energy from Hurts when it comes to dealing with the other 52 guys around him. Take a listen first to Mailata.
I think it's every year, we always want to be a better version of ourselves the last year, and that was a big difference. Just the way he came into the building was different. His attentiveness in meetings was the way he spoke in the meetings was amazing. Was different. And then even the way he drilled out there was different. He stayed back almost every day to do drills with the wide receivers. And, I think a lot of that has to do with the change in the building. But, you can either stay the same or change. And, that's what we all have to do. But it was just amazing seeing, QB1 do it and leading from the front and seeing that this change is good for us.
Change is good for us. Hurts up front. Hurts also went on to talk about people not being entitled. Like that energy he's starting
taking it
to
head
show.
on, man.
Is it a little bit of a nod to, hey, I don't have to deal with 11. I could just kind of be my own man and take the lead of the room without having this side questioning of what we're doing?
Well, I don't know about any ulterior motives.
Okay.
Because I haven't talked to Jalen Hurts. He hasn't called me yet. But what I do know is that anytime the dynamic of a locker room changes with a personality as big as A.J. Brown's, there is a void that's left. And what's going to fill the void when that leaves? Is it going to be positive, what fills the void? Who is going to be a part of filling the void? Well, it was an opportunity for the quarterback to put more. He's already a leader. He's the quarterback. He's paid the way he is. So they're already a leader. But he takes it on even more, which you love, because that's what great players do. They take it on. They go, if you need me to do more, I'll do more. And he wants that responsibility. And, who else is going to fill that void? Well, you got to do it to your personality because it can't be fake. So Devontae Adams is now the alpha receiver for this team. He's going to have to take on some of that in the meeting rooms, in that leadership role, and be the communicator of, hey, this is what we're seeing on the field. We're not feeling this or feeling that. He's going to have to take that on with a young, kind of guy on the other side in your first-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to have to do that. Dallas Goedert's going to have to do that. We know Lane Johnson does that on the offensive line, and Mailata too. So I like that. It is fresh. It's new because sometimes when people leave, it opens up a lot of oxygen.
It does. It almost seems like a cleanse.
Yeah.
In the sense of, hey, this is where we're at this point.
Things run their course and run out their time. Like same
and the
thing
more
happened
and more
with
we
Giroux.
see it, and more we see it, it feels like it's run its course.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into more Eagles later on in the show, but coming up, we got news at noon with our guy here, Jordan, who's got some LeBron conversation, Mad Dog Russo,
the dog,
and a college football coach. I was so excited when I saw you had it, just for the fact that we were going to get your impersonation of Mad Dog today.
Yeah, which ended up turning into Regis.
Yeah, it's fine. I like Regis too. Regis,
I loved Regis.
Yeah, a couple
He's
of New
a nut.
Yorkers I'm a fan of. But that coming up next, as well as Mr. NBA at 12:30.
Oh, we're doing Mr. NBA.
Yeah, your
Nice.
opportunity to win a Rita's gift card. Stay tuned for that. He's Jason Martinez. I'm Ray Dunn. This is Middays Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Brushed by the fish. I'm Brandon Dutz, and this update is brought to you by Verizon Business. Verizon Business experts love small business, so they come directly to you on your schedule with real expertise tailored to your needs. Make an appointment with Verizon Business Expert. Go to verizon.com/book today. The Phillies continue their terrible stretch of baseball, getting swept by the Marlins, blowing a 6-0 lead. Jesus Luzardo was pitching well up until the 7th inning, where it all fell apart, and the Marlins took the lead in the 8th, leading to the Phillies' 4th straight series loss coming out of the All-Star break. This team's a mess right now, and that's putting things lightly. Now there's extra heat on the team as Dottie Mattingly responded to Bryce Harper's comments about the team needing help, saying players like being general managers, making calls, and spending other people's money, so not what you want to hear. But they'll look to reset on a much-needed off day today, and we'll start a series in Baltimore with the Orioles tomorrow. Training camp continues for the Eagles as they prepare for the season. Tim McManus joined Unfiltered yesterday to share how Jalen Hurts looked on day one.
An encouraging start for Jalen Hurts. We are seeing so much under center from Jalen Hurts, so much pre-snap motion, a ton, relatively speaking, to what we've seen in the past, of throws over the middle by Hurts. There was some positive.
This update is sponsored by the New Jersey Department of Health. Public health works behind the scenes building a healthier future for everyone. One mission working for you. Learn more at nj.gov/health. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
You don't know.
Welcome back in. Middays with Al Marks. Middays with Martinez. Chase Martinez, myself, Ray Dunn. Hair Jordan about to give you the news at noon. Get into a little bit. There was a poll we put up yesterday on the old Bird app. You know, the classic Twitter poll. You've done two of those in your day.
Yeah, I remember
Jason.
the old polls.
Yeah. I want to go back to it from yesterday with the Phillies when we get done with the news at noon. And then we got a couple other things before we get to Mr. NBA.
I got to send out thanks real quick to Brendan Petrilli.
That's right.
I've got my Club Hertz laminated card right here. So I'm now an official member and very proud of this.
You got to follow the Instagram account at Club Hertz as well.
I don't do the Instagram.
You're not doing the Instagram?
I have it, but I don't really use it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame you. We were having a conversation off there with Casey
media.
Boy. Like, yeah, so social media to me, I've started to post on TikTok, which is big for me.
See, I'm afraid of the TikTok because I'll go down that rabbit hole.
I've fallen down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's tough.
You know why you got a show sheet for me today at 6:40 in the morning instead of 11 o'clock last night?
I
fell down the rabbit hole. I also fell asleep. New apartment for me. The new washer dryer setup in the apartment. The dryer takes 2 hours.
Who's drying this thing?
That's why I might as well put it on a line and put it outside.
Jeez. Get the Amish line outside.
Seriously. I thought it was a joke. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll just do the express. There's no way that they've been doing the normal dryer for 2 hours for as long as they've been living here because I moved in with friends. Sure enough, I go up, grab the clothes. They're damp.
Oh, it's the worst.
So I was 2 hours behind and I'm supposed to go down and see my family down the shore today. I'm not packed. It's the whole thing.
What shore are you going to?
Wildwood.
No, nice.
Yeah, Wildwood.
I was just down in Myrtle Beach last week.
Good
I'd never
time?
been there before. Yeah, it was great. It was a blast, and just to get in the ocean.
Yeah. Beautiful.
That is just water for my soul, man.
Beautiful beaches down there, too.
Yeah, but that first time the water comes in and that first wave gets you into the old bag. Woo! I don't care how warm that water is. That'll wake you up in the morning.
That'll wake you up fast.
Yeah.
I've been kind of avoiding the ocean. I've been a little leery of going in for that exact feeling. I'm like, you know what? I'll just die of heat out here. I'm just going to sweat to death out here. I got down to Myrtle Beach for the first time last September. My sister goes coastal.
Okay.
So I went down,
Coastal
visited,
Carolina?
did the whole, It was after Eagles-Cowboys. It was like that Friday. I was like, all right, there's nothing to do this weekend except their family weekend was the first weekend of September. My parents dropped her off 2 weekends before. It's our family weekend.
just saw you.
Yeah. All right, see you Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Great.
Here's an 8.5-hour ride again.
Oh, I flew. They drove. I flew. I was like, I'm going to put up the money for the flight. I can't do the drive because I'm already fighting it from leaving here Friday after the show.
Yeah.
Trying to be back on Monday. No point. I'll spend half the time we're supposed to be there.
Me and my son left. My wife and girls flew down, and me and my because my son's in school and works, so we drove down Tuesday night after he got home from school. So he came home, took a shower, and we left the house at 9 o'clock. I set up the bed in the back of the car, in the Nissan, and he slept the whole ride. I did the ride from 9 o'clock at night. We arrived at 6:45 in the morning.
That's impressive.
I fell asleep about 7:30 a.m. Woke up at 10:30 because I had to tape an interview with Joseph Wall, who I was supposed to tape the day before, but he was apartment hunting. So he got kind of stuck with that. So we taped that, got up, and then just got down to the ocean, got after it.
3 hours of sleep. You're an animal for that.
Yeah.
Being able to pull that off. 8.5-hour overnight. That's the way I would like it, though. I'm a red-eye flight guy.
I love driving at night.
I don't like losing the day.
I was listening
losing the day of travel is brutal.
I listened to a podcast that was so long, my earbuds died. By the AirPods. Listen to the Sean Ryan show.
How long was the podcast?
Oh, he goes like 4 hours sometimes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, it's the top podcast in the world.
Yeah, I still can't do 4 hours. You cut up TikTok, how tie this full circle, how broken my brain is.
Yeah.
Give me the best minute of the podcast. I'll tell you whether I'm a fan. All right. Speaking of the best minute of something, that's basically the idea behind the news to do. What do we got, Dutsy?
It doesn't matter what comes in the world of sports. The news at noon with Ray Dunn. Bad Athlete Podcast, angry college coaches, innocuous and random topics. The news at noon with Ray Dunn. The news at noon with Ray Dunn. The news at noon with Ray Dunn.
He's got to get an auto tuner.
There's worse ones on there, if you could believe it. We've got a rotating cast.
A lot longer, too, than that one. I tried to make it short this week.
Yeah, you didn't go with the Thunderstruck one from Petrilli.
I don't know how much time I got left to live, but I don't need to be hearing that. It's morbid humor.
It is. You caught me off guard with it.
Don't worry, I'll go there.
All right, Dutzy, what do you got for us?
All right, Ray, well, you heard John in that intro. College coaches are a part of the news at noon. Now, 4 years ago on Easter, Lincoln Riley had posted a picture of a brisket that he made for himself. Right? You've seen the picture. This thing looked dry as can be. There was no juice on the cutting board. There was no nothing. A fan even commented that I'm glad that Lincoln Riley has finally found something that he can burn more than West Virginia's defense. I mean, Ray, it looked terrible. So he came on Barstool this week and shared the great story about his brisket.
It's actually one of my favorite stories. So we had a bunch of guys over, our strength coach at the time, this and that. So my buddy had been telling me about doing this brisket, and my buddy's a phenomenal cook, like phenomenal. And he'd been talking to me about doing this brisket and doing it in a Worcestershire bath. So, and I love Worcestershire on anything, all right? So I do this, have this brisket. Brisket's phenomenal, but it rips all the pink out of it because it soaks in this bath, right? So when I take the picture, I'm not thinking anything of it because the brisket was really, really good. And people say, no, it wasn't. They weren't there. Yes, it was. And I'm not a brisket like aficionado, so I don't have the pink right there on it because the smoke ring's gone because the Worcestershire bath, obviously the dark liquid, it's a goner. And that's how the whole thing came about.
If you give yourself 5 years to find a defense of your cooking, you'll find a defense of your cooking. I just sent you what the brisket looks like, Jason.
Take a look here.
Yeah, it's not something that I would think I would dig into.
It needs more, as he calls it, Worcestershire.
It needs a bath of something. Worcestershire.
I know it's spelled Worcestershire, but that looks like a handful of sand.
It does.
That looks terrible.
It looks all as a guy that
looks like spam. Crap meatloaf.
It looks terrible.
Terrible.
I've also developed a rule in my life. I'm never posting anything I cook.
No, you don't need to. Just post your food that you get at a restaurant.
Yeah, even that. I will. I can't say I haven't, but if I cook it for sure, someone's gonna find an issue with it. And let's be honest here. Yeah. I'm not Michelin star rated. There's a reason why I'm cooking at home.
Yeah.
I'm saving money on that. It's not because I think it's the best food I could possibly get. I'm not posting that. College coach.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Lincoln Riley, stick to the football. Yeesh. All right, what else you got, Dutzy?
All right, Ray. Philadelphia guy, Kevin Hart, golfing with LeBron James. Now, he wanted to introduce LeBron to Philadelphia and tell him how to talk. So you're going to hear in this video, he's prepping LeBron for Philly with the Philadelphia lingo. Take a listen.
Preparing LeBron for Philly. So I told the nut-ass boy, I said, yo, at the end of the day, stop drawing the joint. She going to do what she want to do. But look, at the end of the day, man, you going to be what's going to be. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Dumbass. You got all to say. You know what I'm saying?
On your Philly lingo.
Back on my Philly lingo.
Young bull.
Huh? Young bull. I told him, but listen, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Do what you gonna do, boy. Just don't draw a C on Broad Street.
I appreciate his recruiting efforts.
The funniest thing about him is he is like 5'2".
Yeah. If I was 5'2", I would not talk to people the way Kevin Hart has talked to people I've seen throughout his entire life.
He is funnier than hell, though.
He is.
I find him to be hilarious, so good on him.
The young bull, I heard the John in there. I mean, he's trying his best to teach him Philly. I feel like it's one of those things you just have to kind of experience or be dropped into.
Well, can you experience it if you're living in New York?
No, probably not.
Probably not, right?
No. You're not experiencing it just walking through the arena at Xfinity Mobile.
Yeah, or to the practice facility where they spend even more time. Yeah, I don't know. Would Kevin Hart be on the top of the list of recruiters to Philadelphia?
It seemed like he was.
His current stature certainly puts him in that category.
Right.
Will Smith was obviously the main one maybe for a long time. As the top
Bradley
recruiter.
Cooper?
Bradley Cooper's definitely one when it comes to football.
I would argue in the sports world, Trout. But the issue is Trout's recruited everyone but himself.
And had a chance to.
Yeah.
And decided to stay in Anaheim and basically witness protection playing baseball out there, which to me is astounding. I don't know who else would be there. I mean, obviously Bill Cosby's not on that list anymore. AI would be a guy on that list.
AI said he didn't reach out to him. He was on with Stephen A. Said he didn't want to put any pressure on LeBron to make his
What about
decision.
Barkley?
Barkley's going after him. Barkley's been... not entirely, but pretty much going after him, saying he stacks his teams. That's been his biggest thing.
Everybody does in the NBA. That's the NBA.
That's the NBA.
Yeah.
We'll get your thoughts on that coming up later on. But I got maybe Meek Mill.
Meek Mill would be one, yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Fanatics, there was Dan Lebitard. I don't know if you saw him crying about the fact that he thinks there's a backdoor Fanatics deal between LeBron and Michael Rubin that brought him to Philadelphia.
Hey, if as long as it doesn't violate the collective bargaining agreement, I don't give a damn.
Kawhi played last year. I don't care about the collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
As long as they get the season in.
Yeah.
We find that out later on. Not going to change my opinion of the parade. Yeah, I would say probably Michael Rubin might actually be higher on the list than we'd anticipate.
Yeah, because we just don't know the stature he holds with these athletes.
Right. And how much he talks to LeBron versus any regular. Kevin Hart seems like he did a lot of work, though.
Yeah, he put in the legwork.
Yeah.
So good on you, Kevin Hart.
You're going to go see Jumanji on Christmas Day, the new one?
I saw the first one in the theater.
All right. Well, I don't know which one this is, but...
Would be 3, I believe, of his, but 4 overall.
4, okay, so 3rd of his.
Yeah.
All right. That's
Robin Williams was the first one.
Christmas Day.
Yeah.
That'll be the 3rd installment. Him, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. What else we got, Dutsy?
All right, Ray, I saved the best for last. Mad Dog Russo. So he was reacting to a story that Notre Dame passed Ohio State for a new patch deal. Notre Dame's not going to wear. They're partnering with SoFi Technologies. They're partnering with them now, so they're going to wear the patch on the top left. Right, let's just say Mad Dog wasn't too happy about the patches.
What Notre Dame is doing right now with this patch with SoFi and getting $18 million. Notre Dame, there's more of an accountability. It's the Fighting Irish. It's Newt Rockne. It's 1934. Again, it's Lou Jack. It's Lou Holtz. It's everybody. And to sit there, if I look at this, this is Notre Dame. This right here. This is Notre Dame football. That South Bend, right, national champion. This is what I'm referring to. And there we go. Yes, sir. The Newt. Look at Rockne, who died in that poor plane crash. Look at Rockne, the 4 horsemen of Notre Dame. This is Notre Dame, named by Grantland Rice. If you didn't know that, I don't know what that, forget what it's called. And look at him,
oh my God.
sir, the Gipper.
He needs
Ronald
Adderall.
Reagan. And they're going to sit there and wear that asinine SoFi patch because of a couple of dollars.
A couple of dollars.
This is the same Notre Dame who did the stupid patch. Enough of the patch. I'm embarrassed. And I had a daughter who went to Notre Dame, graduated magna cum laude.
Oh my God. He is bananas. What's the patch on it?
It's the jersey patch. It'll be SoFi, I think, right up here, right on the left.
Look, everybody's
left
sold out.
Everyone's sold out.
Come on. There's NIL money to be made. Even more. Look, I agree. I don't like it. I agree, but this is the reality of our world.
They're all going to look like NASCAR drivers in a matter of years.
Yeah, wearing the suit.
Where we're headed.
Yeah, driving a Tide Chevrolet.
Yeah.
And brought to you by all these things all over it. And I mean, you watch like European sports, like European hockey. Like there's so many ads on the ice, it doesn't look white.
Exactly. That's where we're headed.
Yeah.
Nothing's sacred anymore, Jason.
No, nothing is. And they got digital billboards and all this. And yeah, but Dog's got to realize, like, get with the times, Dog.
He says this is 1934. That's where he's stuck. That Dog Russo is
when
stuck.
Like 89 when him and Mike were doing the show at their peak. Mike and the Mad Dog.
Yeah.
I tell you, Yankees, they're driving me nuts. That when the Giants lost the World Series, oh my God, he had a meltdown of epic proportions. I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah, please do.
He's like, they did it again. They broke my heart again. I swore they wouldn't do it. And he just went off for 10 minutes. And it is unbelievable.
It's amazing. And
his fastball is still the same thing.
And somehow it still hits.
Not for me.
This one missed.
Yeah, that was a swing and a miss. Yeah, he just hasn't evolved as a broadcaster very much, but it works for him.
Is maybe why it hits with me, because it's this lunatic old guy yelling about old guy things. And it's kind of awesome. It's like, they took 5 minutes away from Stephen A. on First Take to let this lunatic, just lose his mind.
Well, I'm always in favor of that. Not that I even watch First Take, but...
Yeah, well, come on, we're consuming the clips. That's the funniust thing for me. I was like, people are like, do you watch that stuff? It's like, do you think I have time to watch that stuff? I've worked at Middays now for, almost
When is it
3.5
on,
years.
11?
10 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, forget it.
It's 10 to noon.
Yeah.
The only thing I get from First Take are clips.
Yeah.
I don't record it and go home and watch.
And that's good enough.
That's fine with me.
That's good enough.
Let me see what Mad Dog's lost his mind about. He was during the All-Star break. He was screaming, ranting, and raving and yelling about how Teddy Roosevelt's got it. Was it Teddy Roosevelt? No, it was who was it?
Franklin Delano
Eisenhower. No,
Roosevelt?
it was Eisenhower. How Eisenhower has to be in your top 8 of presidents.
Eisenhower's Mount Everest. Eisenhower.
Not Everest. He said not your top 5. You got him in the top 10.
Now, Teddy Roosevelt carried a big stick.
See, it doesn't
wasn't that
sound
Roosevelt's
today.
thing?
It was. Carry
Teddy
the big, speak softly and carry the big stick.
Yeah. He's kind of like Babe Ruth.
Say that right.
Yeah.
You sounded like him on this one. You didn't go into the Regis one.
I have not fallen into Regis.
Kathy Lee.
Gelman. Kathy Lee. Oh, Kathy Lee. Don't get me started on her.
I know. If I could just start on Kathy Lee, I might lose your attention for the rest of the
I'm talking about
show.
her rear end. She's got a great rear, this Kathy Lee.
I'm telling you, Regis. All right.
How did Frank Gifford?
So get back. I want to loop back in because I know we got a couple of things on the Phillies here, and Mr. NBA is coming up next. So we're going to ask you to line up. We're going to need the 6 phone lines coming up, 610-632-0975. You're going to be able to guess the number of questions that Jason will get correct of Mr. NBA. Mr. NBA is going to have a LeBron theme to it. It's going to have an early LeBron theme to it. So we're going to see how well Mr. NBA knows the early portion of LeBron's career, because I like your early 2000s NBA knowledge. Always blows me away. So we're going to get to that coming up next. So we'll get in at 610-632-0975. You're going to be playing from $50 Rita's gift card.
$50 at Rita's?
$50.
You can buy the store for that.
Yeah, Petrilli brought you the wrong card. You got the Club Hertz card. You should have gotten the Rita's card.
Holmes.
Before we get to that, Phillies, we complained earlier, the almost like contractually obligated complaining today after getting swept by the Marlins. Yesterday, we put out a poll. More likely that the Phillies make one big trade, make a few smaller trades, because we were talking about the big splash. You were looking for the Chris Farley off the diving board into the pool type splash you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
I don't think that splash is coming. I don't think you have the ammunition to do that splash.
No, you're going to get a Thornton Mellon splash from back to school.
If that works for you, I'm hoping it's not my splash.
Yeah.
Hoping it's
or
not
a Greg Louganis splash, which isn't much.
No, you're not getting much from that. The few smaller trades are probably, I don't think anyone thinks the needle's moved by the time we get here Tuesday. I can almost see the reaction Tuesday we come after the trade deadline where people are disappointed. And it almost feels like if people hit the point of this season where they're kind of throwing their hands up like, I'm in, I'm watching. I had the I'm in when the Sixers were going through this season. I was like, hey, I'm going to watch. But, I kind of feel I know the ending, and I never could have seen the ending being them beating the Celtics, come back 3-1 and losing to the Knicks.
Yeah.
The roller coaster that was.
And the Knicks winning the NBA title.
No, yeah, I was a hater on that till the end. I'm still kind of a hater on that.
Yeah.
But I feel like we have hit the point of the season. I'm curious for people at 610-632-0975. Want to get a call, text, voice memo on the Davis Honda text line, name, location, occupation. Have you hit the point where you're throwing your hands up? Where it's like, I'm here. Or for some people, I think it's they're out. I think for people that don't enjoy baseball, that just enjoy Philadelphia sports winning, it's probably I'll check in with you if something changes, but wake me up in the second round, Sixers people. Kind of have gotten to that point.
Yeah, hey, been here, done that. When you're able to actually advance to something new, then I'll get excited.
Is there an apathetic feel?
Till then, I'm tempered.
Yeah.
But, when baseball playoffs start and the Phillies are in it, that things get crazy. Mm-hmm. And the atmosphere gets crazy because you're hanging on to every pitch. It's the nature of it.
And I want to believe that. But I almost feel like there was I don't know if you saw the Destiny Legardo tweet from Phillies Nation about the sellouts by a certain portion of the season. They had dropped considerably. I think it was almost 18 less sellouts by the time. Yeah. You only had 8 at some point coming to the All-Star break.
That's box office.
And that Dodgers series was not sold out.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And I was surrounded by Dodgers fans. I was on the Broad Street line.
That's not just up the Turnpike.
Yeah, Lombard South felt like Southern California the way people were piling off there in blue jerseys. Is it reached the point of apathetic for people?
For some, I think it's been lather, rinse, repeat.
So I want to hear from people on that when we get done with Mr. NBA.
All right.
And also by the end of the hour, I want to know Petrilli came in. He asked the question that I wanted to ask you. So what should I expect with the Flyers? What's next? So we'll dive into that a little bit of where they go. I've been told I look like Connor McDavid. I want to know if I'll be able to cash in on that at some point.
You do look a little McDavid-ish.
All right, perfect, because I want to be able to cash in on that by the end of this decade. He's Jason Martinez. I'm Ray Dunn. Mr. NBA, 610-632-0975. Mr. NBA will have 5 questions for Jason Martinez. Your opportunity to win a $50 Rita's gift card. If you jump on and tell us how many of them he will get correct, that's coming up next right here. Middays Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Another blown lead. I'm Brandon Dutz, and the Phillies have lost yet another series, getting swept by the Miami Marlins. Philly got out to an early 6-0 lead, but Jesus Luzardo collapsed late, allowing the entire lead back, and the Marlins were going to take a 2-run lead in the 8th inning. Phillies have now lost 7 of their last 8 games, continuing to find new ways to lose. It's becoming clearer by the day that the Phillies need to add to the roster and fast, with the trade deadline coming up in just 4 days. Bob Nightingale joined Middays yesterday to share what relievers Dave Dombrowski could target.
I can see Hoffman. He's pitching a lot better now, too. They're familiar with him. Some people can be gun shy because of what happened, in Philly, confidence in big games. They could get him and an outfielder, too.
They'll look to reset on a much-needed off day today, and will start a series in Baltimore with the Orioles tomorrow. Day 2 of training camp kicks off for the Birds as they prepare for the season, and according to The Athletic, LeBron James and ESPN are closing in on a deal for a documentary similar to The Last Dance that will feature the Philadelphia 76ers. This update is sponsored by Verizon Business. Verizon Business experts love small business, so they come directly to you on your schedule with real expertise tailored to your needs. Make an appointment with a Verizon Business expert. Go to verizon.com/book today. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic app.
Middays with Mark, 97.5, The Fanatic. We're going to play Mr. NBA this segment, I think. Jason Martinez here. I'm Ray
Let's
Dunn.
do it.
We want you to line up at 610-632-0975. You place a phone call to us, and all you got to do is guess the number of questions out of 5 that Jason Martinez
Are you kidding me?
correct out of these questions from, again, it's the LeBron James early portion of LeBron James' career. Mr. NBA, because you're at 2000s, like especially that 01 team. Like your ability to go back and pull just any sort of fact out of late 90s, early 2006ers, but specifically the 01 team. And I'm sure time in life and, what
Well, I told you where I watched game 1 of the finals on the rooftop deck of my house in Old City. Yeah.
Right. Like that was the time like you were out about, watch it, like all about. So that time in basketball history, you've got a pretty good grasp.
It's weird. I was doing music radio at the time. I was working at WYSP at the time, doing rock radio. So, yeah, that team was just so fun coming into that season, and the angst of Iverson and Larry Brown, and everything that went into it, and the way they started 42-14 before Theo Ratliff got hurt, just crazy.
The trade, and they're actually 500 after the trade, and they were able to make their way. Yeah, like it's an incredible season to relive, and for someone that was so young, as in barely able to comprehend what's happening at that point, to like
what
watch.
year were you born?
2000.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. You're not able. My memory of that is non-existent.
Yeah.
So like to watch it, rewatch it through people's lens, it's like to me, I always try and find the comp. Like I felt like the 22 Phillies to me were for so many people the 93 Phillies. Like they didn't win it, but like I feel like the 93 Phillies also are kind of insulated by the fact that like we didn't watch this drop off that we've got with this group. Like we've grown tired of some of the characters here. Like 22, if it had just had been one thing and it happened, and like 23, there was the lockout of 94. It's like, well, you never know what could have still happened with that group. We know what happened with this group is happening with this group right now in front of our eyes. But that year to me almost feels like 93 for
93 was maybe a little different because it just came out of nowhere and didn't go anywhere after.
Right.
It was just lightning in a bottle. And then obviously you did the shortened season right after that, so they were actually the NL champs for 2 years because they didn't finish the following season. And then the 08 team won the one, went to another one, lost to the Yankees, and then just I thought they seemingly got better and couldn't win another one, especially on the mound.
Yeah. Oh, they did. The 08 team, of the 5 division titles they won, 08 team is probably the second worst of those 5 teams.
Yeah.
Ended up being the one that won it all.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you have Cliff Lee, Halladay, and Hamels, and Roy Oswalt, and Joe Blanton.
5 aces, man. 4 aces and Joe.
4 aces and Joe.
He got on that cover.
Yeah, they demanded it.
That's right. Halladay wasn't doing that without him.
Yeah.
All right, well, I want to do Mr. NBA with you.
Let's do it.
I think the people don't want to do Mr. NBA with you at 610-632-0975. So with that, let's go turn this Davis Honda text line. The first person to text the number of correct answers that Jason Martinez will get out of 5.
Out of 5? Okay.
Will get the $50 Rita's gift card for you. Petrillian, nice enough to hook us up. Today at Rita's, combine classic Shirley Temple flavor with Rita's delicious Italian ice. You get the new Shirley Temple ice only at Rita's. It's a Shirley good time, but get there quick, as Shirley Temple ice is at Rita's for only a limited time. Could we get a little NBA on NBC? We're going to take you back to the early 2000s.
Let's go back to that time with Marv Albert and Mike Fratello, the czar of the telestrator. He was great.
You think about how that was a revelation. Now what we're doing on TV to break everything down, but the telestrator before.
Yeah, it was that was like a huge deal. Maybe we don't have that.
Do we have the NBA on NBC? There we go. All right. Mr. NBA with Jason Martinez. Your first question. I want to take you to LeBron James early on, before we see LeBron win his first MVP title. Took him 6 seasons to get there. In his 3rd season, however, he was second in MVP voting to this Western Conference guard in 2005 and 2006.
Western Conference guard in 2005, 2006. Oh, that's a tough one. I can see him, but I can't think of his name.
What are you seeing?
Not. Give me the team. I don't have it.
I'll get you Phoenix.
Is it Kevin Johnson?
Steve Nash.
Steve Nash. Kevin Johnson's earlier than that. He's a Barkley year.
Steve Nash. All right.
Yeah.
Let's take you to LeBron. Goes to his first finals 2006, 2007. Who did his Cavs beat to get to that finals?
Who did they beat in 2006, 2007 to get to the final? This is his first final that he got to?
First finals he got to. The team they beat in the Eastern Conference Finals to get there. They lose to the Spurs in 4 games. It's not exactly a banner moment.
That's not the Twin Towers, but that's Tim Duncan to get there. I think it's Detroit. Ben Wallace's Detroit Pistons.
There you go. All right, so you got one there. Let's take you to the first time that LeBron...
No, you used Detroit. That was also, what's his name, from Coatesville. From the Detroit Pistons on that team.
Wow.
Why can't I think of his name?
Trying to take you back to that. Trying to get back into that series. I didn't see the whole roster for that.
Chauncey Billups is on that team. Wasn't the Rip Hamilton on that team? That's the Coatesville guy.
Yeah, that was Phillips, like you said. Yeah, Hamilton. Yep. Rasheed Wallace.
Richard Hamilton. Yeah, and Rasheed from Simon Gratz. Yep.
Amir Johnson was on the team. Jeez, they're stuck around.
Yeah, and Rip Hamilton, the pride of Coatesville, the Red Raiders.
Chris Webber on that team.
Was he really? I didn't know that.
So, seeing his name on there, I didn't know that either. All right, roll down with. All right, first time LeBron played in Philadelphia was November 15, 2003 against the 76ers. If you could give me...
Oh, why didn't he play ever here before that?
He played at the Palestra. Well, he's in high school. But the first time he played professionally, his rookie year, first time. The starting 5 for the 76ers that night, November 15, 2003. I'll take... we know one that's obvious. If you give me 2 more outside of the obvious, you get credit on this one. 3 of the 5. 2003, 2004 Sixers.
The 03-04 Sixers that were on that team.
The starting 5 he faced that night.
DC. Derek Coleman.
No.
Samuel Dallenberg.
Samuel Dallenberg. There's one. You want to take the obvious one off the board?
Well, Iverson.
Yeah. All right.
McKee was off the bench. Willie Green. No. Kyle Korver.
Korver off the bench.
Because this is still Eric Snow then.
Eric Snow. There you go. There's 3 of your 5.
All right. Glenn Robinson was the starter on that team.
The 2 other ones you got were the 2 Temple guys. McKee and Mark Jackson.
Both
started in that game against LeBron. The Cavaliers won 91-88.
Wow.
November 15, 2003. All right. So we give you got 3 out of 5 there. Credit for you on that one. You got the Pistons. You got Steve Nash. 2003 NBA draft. Remember, quite the draft it was in 2003. You get LeBron, Carmelo, Bosh, Wade. That's 4 of your top 5. The guy that went number 2, the Pistons took after LeBron James, was who?
Darko Milicic.
That's right. 3 of the 4 for you. And in LeBron's rookie year, 2 players started more than 70 games alongside him for that Cavs team that ended up winning, I think, 18 more games than it did the year before. Can you name one of those 2 players for me?
Wait, that started with LeBron in his rookie year.
His rookie year. 2 players started more than 70 games alongside LeBron for the Cavs that year. One of these guys is
2003.
Famous in the eyes of Andrew Salciunas.
Ilgauskas.
There you go.
Yeah, he was probably their second leading scorer, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Who else was on that team? How about, was Boozer on that team?
Boozer was on that team. Those are your 2 for you. All right, 4 for 5. So the first person that texted 4 to the Davis Honda text line at 610-632-0975 going to get a $50 Rita's gift card courtesy of Mr. NBA. Wow. Going back through the old LeBron teams, there's no surprise the guy left Cleveland. These teams stink.
They stunk. They really did. Eventually, he ended up with Larry Williams former Sixer.
Larry Hughes,
rather. Sorry, yeah. He ended up with Eric Snow. I believe he played with Reading's own Donyell Marshall at one point.
We'll field fact that one. I'll give you a yes on that.
I think he played with Kevin Ollie.
He did play with Kevin Ollie.
I believe that he played with
Donyell Marshall.
He did play with Donyell Marshall. Yep.
A couple of years there.
Trying to think who else he might have played with in his time there. That was a Sixer.
Snow. Did we mention Snow yet?
We mentioned Snow.
These teams are horrid.
Yeah, they were rough.
It's really tough to look at.
Until he left and came back.
Yeah. Can't believe these Texas teams when he started his career playing 7 years with that group.
Yeah, but there's just another guy that he played with. I thought that was a Sixer. I can't remember who it was. I don't know.
We'll do the research in the break. We got a research department on it.
Yeah.
We'll send it to the back. We'll get it to the back. They'll get it for you. But 4 out of 5 for Mr. NBA on that one. Again, the person.
Well, Larry Hughes played with him and Jordan.
Yes, which is I needed his take on the GOAT debate.
Yeah,
I feel like we would be able to get that out of him, right?
Yeah.
Which one was more impressive to play with? Maybe sees too late of Jordan to because he played with him in Washington.
And, yeah, he obviously saw him in his prime. Oh, the guy I'm thinking of is Delonte West. Didn't he play with him?
St. Joe's, yeah.
Yeah, he had a couple good years before he really fell on hard times.
Yeah, seriously. All right, coming up, I want to get.
That was an unimpressive performance by me.
4 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm not as boned up on LeBron.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you are now.
Oh,
Obviously.
yeah, somebody just said in the chat. Delonte Williams.
Coming up at 1 o'clock, I want to induct the first member of the Mount Rushmore of morons when it comes to LeBron James.
All right.
There was a take that was so stupid that I actually want to create a Hall of Fame for this guy for how dumb he sounds talking about LeBron James. Do that at 1 o'clock. Coming up next, I want to get from you. What should I be expecting? We've seen the Flyers offseason now at this point where it is. We saw the offer sheet, obviously the drop-off for people after not getting Leo Carlson. What am I to expect? It feels like we've hit the point where there should be no more expectations this offseason. So I want to get where your mind's at late in July. We'll get to that coming up next. He's Jason Martinez. I'm Ray Dunn. Middays without marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. Middays, Marks 97.5, The Fanatic. I'm Ray Dunn, and for Johnny. Johnny back tomorrow. They got quite a crew in with Johnny. I think Rodman producing, Petrilli producing, Rodman hanging out with you as well. They're going, I think, a two-man producer booth in there.
Yeah,
Johnny
Rodman's doing
over here.
updates.
Gotcha.
And then BP's just producing.
Gotcha. As Brace on assignment, finally got to vacation today. I'm curious to get your perspective on the Brace strategy for his vacation. Jason Bertitas.
What's the strat?
So he took yesterday off.
Okay.
You would think you're taking that day off because your vacation began. He took the day before vacation to pack because he felt like he would get everything out of the way. He would also get being yelled at out of the way the day before. If there was going to be a stressful day, he didn't want it to be the first day of vacation. Actually sounded really smart once he laid it out for me. When he was like, I'm taking a day to pack, I was like, really going to take you a day to pack?
So he was off yesterday.
Vacation started today.
And today. No, I don't mind it.
I think it's smart.
Yeah. Look, I think you should always have a buffer day at the end of your vacation if you go away as well. If you're doing a Saturday to Saturday at the shore and you get home on Saturday, having just Sunday is not enough.
Really?
Yeah. I think you need the Monday.
Interesting.
Or you're home Friday. If you're home Friday, then you can go back to work Monday. You need the day to unpack everything, get all that laundry done, stuff put away, get the house organized again, get food in the refrigerator, and then that one day to just chill in said house, and then you go back to your routine.
Will we ever live in a society in which that's the case?
Not in America.
No.
No, the Europeans will.
Yeah.
They do. That's all they do
That's
is
their
holiday.
summer.
Yeah, I mean, I remember going on my honeymoon, and like the Europeans, the minute they walk in the door, they're in full-blown vacation mode. It would take me 3 or 4 days. And by that time, it's over, right?
Yep.
Europeans walk in, they're like there the moment they walk out of work, whatever that last day is that they're working.
Yeah.
They know how to vacation so much better than we do.
I can tell you, I have a 3-day weekend coming. I'm off tomorrow.
Okay.
As evidenced by the fact I was saying Johnny's in with the two-man producer booth there. But I could tell you by the time I get down the shore tonight, I'll already be thinking about, all right, what's next week look like?
Yeah, that's the problem with this job. That's one of the things that people that don't do this job don't understand about it.
Right.
First, everybody thinks they can do it because they know sports, and that's good.
Yes.
And you do need to know sports to a pretty deep degree, but the job is not knowing sports.
Communicating with people.
No, it's grabbing an audience, capturing an audience, keeping an audience, and being entertaining.
Right.
And people go about that in different ways, as we see. There's, the hot takers, which there's far too many of them in the city, unfortunately. And you have the other people that do it through very boned-up analysis. And you have other people that do it through some combination thereof with a little bit of hijinks and tomfoolery in there and fun as well. So there's not one way to skin the cat.
No.
But,
just knowing it isn't enough. Be able to know it and develop it.
Well, I mean, I had so many people, I could do that job. I go, all right, cool, go ahead. You got 90 seconds, and they can't do that.
Hey.
You don't have the opportunity here to go when there's no calls on the board, there's not much to talk about to go, let's play, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, so I was actually down because, we're in the full bore of recruiting Matt Cord back for another season. So I was down there in the King's robe on Tuesday, like, hey, and any updates down here? What are we thinking? And I also was sitting there like, I've never done music radio. This is the radio that I've done. I've done sports talk. I haven't done any other form of radio. So I'm down there like kind of looking around like, how does all this work? I was just asking, picking his brain. Not that I have any idea, intention of moving to music radio, but I was like, I see the setup is the same in terms of wide orbit.
It's simple now.
Right.
It's so automated. That's part of the problem, frankly, for music stations, and which is why you hear less live voices on the air unless it's MMR basically or MGK. But that was the heyday of rock radio and music radio, is when there was live voices all the time. And it's just not there anymore, unfortunately.
What I love about MMR.
Yeah.
Every time I pop on MMR, someone's giving me some sort of history lesson on the song that I'm just becoming familiar with.
Yeah, and they localize themselves and they embed themselves in the community. That's what radio ultimately is about. It's a community service, is what it is. That's what its intent was upon its invention, to be able to notify people when they need to be notified of, whether it's weather events or whatever.
Whether it's the Flyers offseason and what I should expect from it, something like that.
That came about 1986.
Yeah.
When sports radio started. Been here ever since.
All right, so to that point, we have a voice memo on the Davis Honda text line. It's from Zach in the Northeast. And why I'm going to play the voice memo before I get to what you want, or what you've got on the Flyers. Zach is a notorious Flyers voice memo guy.
Okay.
So I'm assuming his voice memo has to do with the Flyers. I didn't get any word from our guy, Dutsy, on that, but I would assume that we have it. So what do we have from Zach? And then I'll get my question to you about the Flyers.
Zach from the Northeast. So, yeah, you look a little bit like McDavid, but, like, McDavid looks like he has the soul, like, sucked out of him. Like, he's, like, dead inside from all the Oilers, you know, all that drama and the closeness to winning and then not winning. You still got that light in your eyes, that nice charm.
He looks beaten
I
down.
want to say, Jason, I'm really sorry to hear that, but hey, man, you are a true king and a champ, man. I'm thinking about you, praying for you, man. Love you. Love you guys too, and see you on the flip. Bye.
Thank you, Zach.
Yeah. McDavid does look a little beaten down. You know, losing's hard. Losing's a lot harder than winning is fun.
Do I look like I'm not beaten down? Is that the compliment,
you don't look
Zach's?
like you don't look like you've gone to 2 Stanley Cup Finals
and lost,
chased a cup and lost.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean that will. I mean, imagine you play 82,
right,
and then you go through 4 rounds of that, 2 years in a row, and you come up empty
both times.
Oh, gut wrenching. And they forced the one to a Game 7, and come up empty. I mean,
so when does he look for a change?
Well, a lot of people say, well, right now's the time, but I don't see that as being the case because he just sanctioned and was a big reason why they decided to hire Mike Babcock there, which we'll see how that turns out. We know the last one turned out. He didn't even make it to training camp. So now's not the right time, but if things are sideways there, they're going to have to start looking, and that may be in this season to move him because the fact of the matter is if it's clear he's not going to re-sign there, the value equation is higher for a team that can get him without an extension to have not 1 but 2 kicks at a cup. You know,
right?
To have it for 2 seasons and have a little bit longer to have him fall in love with you enough to stay.
Oh, we'll make him fall.
Yeah, that's what I say too. I'm willing to take that risk.
Yeah,
I'm willing to say we're going to make you love us, and we're going to do everything to do, you know, that we can within the rules to make you love us. Money's not going to be part of the equation. He's going to get a lot of it,
right?
But we're
look what they were willing to shell out for Carlson.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't think money is the factor. I think you get to see one playoff game inside of that arena.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's got a loyalty to Edmonton, but I think that loyalty's also got an expiration date, and we're getting really close to it.
All right, I'm in on that.
All milk spoils.
I'm just glad, honestly, from Zach from Northeast, that I don't look beaten down. Because our old buddy Egan tells me all the time I look like I ate. No, Egan tells me I age like a president. It's like compared to the first day you walked in these doors to where you're at now, I was like, that kind of hurts. Might be accurate.
I don't know.
Might be the beard.
What is he even talking about?
I don't know. That's what I was told.
You should see him play men's league hockey. An absolute bender and a pigeon.
All right, one more Flyers for you on the other side, and then I want to get to the Mount Rushmore morons here.
All right.
Because we got quite possibly the dumbest LeBron takeaway that I've seen. We'll get you what Charles had to say. It's not Charles. I'm not putting him on the Mount Rushmore moron.
Okay.
I want to get your feeling on what Charles has been saying about LeBron. But this take, John actually sent it to me and said, I'm sorry I'm not there tomorrow to rip this guy. I need you to rip this guy on my behalf. And I was like, I listened to it. I was like, yeah, this guy needs to be ripped. We'll get to that coming up next. He's Jason Martinez. I'm Ray Dunn. This Middays Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Swept in Miami. I'm Brandon Dutz, and the Phillies continue their terrible stretch of baseball, getting swept by the Miami Marlins. The Phillies got out to an early 6-0 lead, but Jesus Lazaro collapsed late, allowing the entire lead back, and the Marlins were going to take a 2-run lead in the 8th inning. The Phillies have now lost 7 of their last 8 games, continuing to find new ways to lose. Luckily for the Phillies, they will get a much-needed off day today and will start a series with the Orioles tomorrow. Training camp continues for the Eagles as they prepare for the season. Tim McManus joined Unfiltered yesterday to share how Jalen Hurts looked on day one.
An encouraging start for Jalen Hurts. We are seeing so much under center from Jalen Hurts, so much pre-snap motion, a ton, relatively speaking, to what we've seen in the past, of throws over the middle by Hurts. There was some positive.
According to The Athletic, LeBron James and ESPN are closing in on a deal for a documentary similar to The Last Dance that will feature the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Union will go for their third straight win on Saturday against Atlanta. You can listen to that game live right here on The Fanatic. This update is sponsored by Verizon Business. Verizon Business experts love small businesses, so they can come directly to you on your schedule with real expertise tailored to your needs. Make an appointment with a Verizon Business expert. Go to verizon.com/book today. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic app.
There's a guy in the YouTube chat that around 11:59 every day asks for that laugh drop.
He likes the cackle?
He does. He likes to cackle. Like, I can't play it every day at that exact time for you. We'll play it. It's been played a number of times. We have a new one with McCarthy. Tom McCarthy was on, and him and Brace.
Oh, my goodness.
In sync. We got a short one and a long one here.
Hello.
That's a good one.
But yeah, those two are like in sync. It was and I don't think I have the Stugotz one on my board, but I don't know if you missed John going after Stugotz.
I heard about that.
It was fantastic. And then I forget what Stugotz was like. Oh, it was when he had Rossini on. We played the audio of Rossini talking about getting pulled over by the cop.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that whole big thing? Oh. And Stugotz like in the background.
I couldn't get enough of the Rossini story.
You can't. I'm still. There you go.
Stugotz was the name of Tony Soprano's boat in The Sopranos. The Stugotz.
Yes.
You a big Sopranos man?
I am.
Surprises me.
Yeah.
Are you a big TV guy? Did I not know this about you?
He's parked the Stugotz in the bay outside of Alan's house, who he tried to buy Whitecaps off of.
Correct.
Whitecaps was the shore house he was trying to buy until Carmela found the fingernail of Svetlana, the one-legged Russian.
And what was it, in the laundry basket?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did I just watch the two of you guys have a moment here together?
Yeah.
That Entourage.
Great show.
That
great
Entourage.
shows. Yep,
Yeah,
those are my
Entourage,
two
another
favorite.
great one.
Yep.
Thought it lost it a little bit at the end. They got a little thin, but yeah, as did The Sopranos. But great television shows. But I'm chomping at the bit to go back and watch Breaking Bad. Because for some reason in my algorithm right now on X, Twitter, whatever, it keeps showing me clips.
Oh, you're one of those algorithms. I was in that for TikTok for a while.
Can I
with, like,
reset my
sitcoms.
algorithm, for God's sake?
No, you can't. You can't.
God.
I mean, Breaking Bad clips is kind of tame, though. I mean, there's some other algorithms that be a little bit more aggressive. I don't know. I don't know what your For You page. Well, you're not an Instagram guy. I was going to say that Explore page for a lot of guys on Instagram is a pretty telling thing.
One of the guys on the chat said, Andrew said, ask Jason his thoughts on leaving notes on neighbors' doors. I'm not sure what that means.
Okay, so Sean Brace, across the street from him is his neighbor. I think it's a group of 3 people that are living in that home. He's not really sure the dynamic between all of them, but they did not cut their grass to the point where it was, a jungle across the street.
That's what you call a blight on the neighborhood.
Correct. So he took it upon himself to leave a sticky note on both the front and back door of said house saying, hi, listing his house. We all use so-and-so landscaping. They come on Mondays. Here's the deal. Like, this is how you get in contact with them. Basically, as a cut your grass.
Yeah, without saying, yo, dude, this is unacceptable.
And he complained about it a couple days in a row last week. Finally, it got taken care of. Friday, I want to say it was Friday after, maybe Sunday. It was sometime over the weekend.
So the guy could cut his grass.
The guy cut his grass.
Good.
Yes.
There's a house that I drive by on Ellis Lane, and this guy, his yard is in total disrepair.
Really?
And he's got junk all over the place outside, like little things like his kids would climb on when they were babies and stuff, and junk everywhere. And every time I drive by, I wish that I had an index card and a Sharpie to put in his mailbox and say, dude, do you realize everybody else's house outside doesn't look like Sanford and Son? Clean it up. You should be embarrassed as a man. Clean it up.
Growing up, our neighborhood, front house, car that didn't run. Like, that was just kind of a car disrepair, but sitting out front. So it was the first thing when you turned to the neighborhood you saw. Yeah. It was like, what are you doing to the rest of us here? It makes it look like the neighborhood, this isn't what the neighborhood is.
Yeah, I mean, come on, just keep up with it.
Yeah. Not asking a lot out of you.
Yeah, it's a blight. It doesn't look good, and it makes the whole neighborhood's value go down.
But would you have done the same thing if you were Sean Brace?
I have done it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Both doors, though. That was the one thing I thought was a little much. Front and back was a little much.
I probably would have just gone into the mailbox. So.
Yeah, he went all the way to the front door. I thought at that point you just knock and talk.
Yeah, clean it up, man.
He didn't want to talk.
Like when you see everybody else's house and there's not junk everywhere and you pull in every time and there's crap everywhere and your grass is up to your knees, like, don't you realize that looks like crap?
You would think. I don't know how you wouldn't.
Oh,
I don't know how you live like that.
It irks me.
But I say that as a guy who lives in the city and has had to cut grass in years.
Well, like my OCD, like I can't even watch a movie and relax if there's a dirty bowl in the sink.
Yeah, that's fair.
So.
That's fair. All right, I want to ask you one Flyers thing before we get to the Mount Rushmore morons here when it comes to LeBron. The Flyers, we talked a lot about top-end talent, and I think there's an excitement for the, as they have turned themselves, I think this is the John Marks and Jamie Lynch, the Zamboner, the one that comes in late. For a guy like me, Martone, end of the season, the full season, how much of an impact power play wise can he have for you? And two, alongside that for Martone, like when you talk high end potential, what do you see as like ceiling?
Ceiling overall, like years down the line. I mean, I see a legitimate top line winger that's capable of that between 72 and 85 points in his prime years. As far as the power play goes, I think he'll impact it because he can be a good net front guy. He can distribute out of net front and side of the net. So he'll help in that regard. They still need the quarterback of the power play.
That's what I was going to say. How much can that actually help the power play from what we saw?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so sick of talking about this power play. It's been 5 years. It's just been dreadful.
I didn't mean to bring up a sore subject.
Yeah, but it needs to be addressed, right? And it needs to be fixed. And I don't buy into the argument that they don't have enough talent to be successful on it. Look at Colorado. All the talent they had a 28th ranked power play last year. You see teams that are in the top 15. You go, that's not more talent. But they're getting it done. So they got to figure that out. But he can impact it, and Mishkov can impact it in a big way.
And Mishkov, you're buying the offseason talk. You've seen the offseason talk.
I don't put a lot into those videos and stuff that players put. I remember Ben Simmons putting out a video, and I remember working with Anthony at the time, and Ben Simmons hit a 3 against the Chinese national team.
Mm-hmm.
I think Anthony almost killed me that day because he was so excited that he hit a 3 against the Chinese national team, who I could hit a 3 against. And I was like, dude, what do you got, like the lawn chairs out on Broad Street saving your spot for the parade? And he was so mad at me because it didn't matter.
I could imagine.
But to the point about the videos, it looks like he's putting in a lot of work, and I like who he's working with. Guys like Artemi Panarin, guys that are real grinders. So surround yourself with good people, and you'll get good results. So I'm very optimistic.
I'm glad we just don't have to do the out-of-shape talk throughout the season.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people that said that, he wasn't out of shape. He wasn't out of shape. I've seen him comment online that he looks like he's lost weight and he looks a lot thinner. Their narrative all year is that he wasn't out of shape. The coach just wasn't playing him.
Yeah.
But now their narrative is, he does look a little thinner.
Speaking of looking thinner, did you see the videos of Hurts yesterday at practice?
He looked
Did he not look leaner?
Yeah, he looks leaner. Yeah, which tells you maybe he wants to be a little less powerful and a little more explosive.
Yeah, would be nice to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the tush push as much as the next guy. If it means that he's going to run 5 or 6 yards and actually,
Maybe the tush push is out. Doesn't need the power.
Does seem like he might be on the way out.
Well, it just didn't look like it was working as much last year.
And you sent 40% of your offensive line to Columbia. So, I mean, they need to go get cell treatment down there. You probably feel like maybe the health is starting to wane.
Yeah, and I don't want Lane Johnson doing that anymore.
Yeah.
I need him around,
Make it to the end of the season.
Yeah.
I need one more out of you, Lane. You call it after this year. Go out on top.
Yeah, I'm ruining the day that he calls it.
Yeah.
Because the numbers with him and without him are so unbelievable.
I try and talk myself into the fact, no, it's fine. It's those are a little skewed by the what year it was. It was it the year
11,
15? What year was the last year?
Chip Kelly's.
Yeah, where it was like, whatever it is, I need not to think about that right now. I need him healthy. I need all that moving in the same direction. But I did notice that yesterday. The videos, I was like, damn, Jalen looks leaner.
He looks a little leaner. So, sometimes players will do that. They look lean coming in. And then as the season goes on, they don't get to work out as much, so they get a little puffier per se.
Right.
Sometimes that happens in some sports. And in some, like, they can't keep weight on. They'll come in at 210, and by mid-season, they're at 198.
That would be me. I
Yeah.
can't keep weight on. That's for right now. That'll change in the next 10 years.
Good
but for
problem
right
to
now,
have for now.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. I want to get to LeBron and the Mount Rushmore moron. So I had Dennis yesterday. I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting to go in. I don't like waiting in the waiting room. Like, they tell you to get there 15 minutes earlier. Once I got there, I was there like 10 minutes early. I was doing the scroll on the phone. It's like, I'll go in 5 minutes early. I filled out all the forms. I was on the phone with them.
Did the pre-check-in.
Oh, yeah. All that stuff's taken care of. I just want to go in, take care of. Joke's on me. I got there, and I was still like 20 minutes in the waiting room, just sitting next to somebody random that's like, I don't really want to make small talk right now. I'm tired. I just want to get in, get dealt with, get out of there.
Yep.
And John, while I'm sitting in my car, sends me this clip. And I think the exact text was, I wish I was in to rip, or I need to hear you rip this tomorrow. Whatever it was. Jason Smith of Fox Sports Radio does their Middays program, wanted to dive into the real interest in LeBron James because we've been fed something that's not true. The idea that there were 5 teams bidding on LeBron's services, the idea that the ESPN story that McMenamin put out yesterday about all the interest from LeBron across the league, no. No one was really interested in LeBron James. Please listen to Jason Smith try to tell you about the interest in the NBA surrounding LeBron.
Sixers might have just been waiting for a decision where it was them against themselves. Like when Rocky in Rocky 4, when he says, you ever think it's you against you? I don't know that the Cavaliers really wanted him. They were silent throughout the entire run with LeBron. And I didn't get any, how did he say no to us again? How did LeBron do this again? People burning their jerseys. They were silent throughout the entire run. So I wonder if they just had very lukewarm interest in LeBron.
And the Rich Paul saying maybe retirement, that was a realistic option.
The only place that was into him for a year or two was the Sixers. I'm taking 2 years and $8 million because even as much as the Sixers wanted him, they weren't going to give him money. I'm seeing this more now. The Sixers were the only option he had. It was either the Sixers or retire.
So, excuse me.
Well, didn't he opt out of a contract?
He was, I think it was over.
He had a player option. I believe.
Was it?
Player option, $38 million, wasn't it? Or $50 million?
I think around 50, yeah.
Yeah, so he was done there. Regardless, he was done in L.A. By the way, I apologize. Midnights. I misread the hours for
Yeah, now I know why.
Midnights. Jason Smith tells you that it was either the Sixers or retire. Do I take his word for it? Or I don't know, the guy that sat down with Rich Paul to do his podcast in Shams Charania. Do I take his word for it or the guy that wrote the book on LeBron James and Brian Windhorst? Do I take his word for it or the guy that tailed LeBron throughout all this process of Dave McMenamin?
This is just a stupid take. And to me, there's obviously teams that would be interested, not because he's the player that he was, because he's not, but he's box office. And the NBA is a box office-driven league, like it or not. No matter where he goes, he elevates the level of your franchise. So to think that he didn't have options and the Sixers were negotiating against themselves is absurd.
It's moronic.
Yeah.
It's one of the dumbest things I think I've ever heard. I listened to it once. I was like, wow, this is really dumb. Listen to it again, and then you just start to think about the levels on which this is idiotic. This is a spit in the face of 3.5 weeks of the pursuit of LeBron James, the reporting that's been out there. And on top of that, it's not just reporting.
Yeah.
You had Draymond Green openly talking about the pursuit of LeBron James, a guy who was on the Warriors, who opted out of his contract, was willing to be flexible money-wise to try and make it work to bring LeBron to Golden State.
Yeah.
Pat Riley's sitting up there, and granted, Pat Riley, at this point, but Pat Riley's sitting up there with Giannis after he trades for him saying, we got another plane to land here.
Yeah.
This is not like some sort of media-created
Was his head
interest.
buried in the stand?
I don't know. I really don't.
Look, he does overnights? Is that what he said? Well, maybe he sleeps all day.
I guess he slept
Maybe
through
he should
3
get up
weeks.
and watch Pardon the Take or whatever the hell it is.
It's just like,
he's out of touch. It's just not factual.
How could you even come to this?
Yeah, just because sometimes somebody has a microphone doesn't mean what they're saying is factual.
It's a guy that's had a long career, Jason Smith.
Has he?
He allegedly
still on overnights.
Allegedly,
he may want to think about doing something else.
He was with ESPN Radio for a long time, apparently.
I did overnights for 14 months in the early of my career. Never again. Yeah. Horrible.
By the time I got in, there was a lot of overnights to go around.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that somebody actually had this thought process. And the idea that the interest in LeBron was not there, because he's not the only one that said it. He's the only one that said it this stupidly. Is that the word I want to go with?
Defiantly, yeah. I mean, he's very dug in sounding on it.
Right. Nobody around the Cavs were telling me that they were too upset about it. Oh, sure. No. The Cavs were the only team that got an in-person interview with LeBron. You do an in-person meeting with LeBron if you're not interested in bringing LeBron in?
No, LeBron's not. He already paid his debt to Cleveland.
Right.
He does not need to go back there and just give them a token interview, and then not choose them.
Right. There was interest there. There was interest across the league. He selected the 76ers. It was one of the more baffling things I think I've ever heard. And, like, it's almost one of those things that's so dumb to rip it feels even dumber. Like, I'm sitting here spending oxygen.
Because we're giving
on it.
oxygen into it. Yeah.
But it was insane.
Yeah, it is incredibly stupid. And look, LeBron's brought out some stupid takes.
Yeah.
And we'll bring out more of them.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, if they have a little stumble in the beginning of the season, it's going to be, see, LeBron's coming in and ruining everything.
Yep.
You know, and it's going to happen. And we'll see how the season plays out in total. But I'm looking forward to it.
Jason Smith is the first that I'm inducting into my Mount Rushmore morons when it comes to LeBron takes, because we're going to get that. That's exactly what it is.
See, I don't know that he makes a Mount Rushmore because I don't think he's big enough and he's got such a generic name.
Well, the good thing is about this Mount Rushmore is that we'll be able to throw people off it once it happens.
Okay, so we can chip him away.
Yeah, we'll chip him away.
And put a different face there.
Now, I'm curious because as I texted back and forth with John about the Mount Rushmore morons when it comes to LeBron, he's still really bothered by the Barkley stuff.
Okay, do we have the Barkley?
We have the Barkley stuff. So Charles Barkley's been out and about. You know, he's talked with Stephen A. He's on with Dan Patrick.
Oh, Charles can't stop talking.
No. He doesn't want to do the car wash at ESPN until he's really interested in talking about something, and then he'll do the car wash at ESPN where he talks to everyone. But Charles said that LeBron always stacks his team. That was his take. We'll take you back to Stephen A. and his conversation with Stephen A. because he went on Dan Patrick, and Dan Patrick and I actually had a back and forth over it. But the original take, what led him down to having that conversation with Dan Patrick, happened with Stephen A. while they were breaking down, hey, LeBron, and he did give him credit-ish, saying that there's a chance that he could end up being the GOAT. He would have to win back-to-back titles. I don't think that
what
that's
he's saying is that Jordan never had to do that. Jordan made everybody better.
Which
he did. But that was a different NBA.
It was a different NBA, and also, where's the Phil Jackson that LeBron got as his coach?
Yeah.
Where's the organizational structure that the Bulls had? Here's him on with Stephen A. Smith.
The number one knock on LeBron for older guys like myself has always been, yo, man, you always stacking your team. He stacked it in Miami. He stacked it in Cleveland. He stacked it in L.A. Now he's stacking it in Philly. So that, to me, I'm going to still have the same criticism I've always had. He's always stacked his team.
Well, look, Charles is kind of speaking out of both sides of his mouth because he thought he got a phone call one morning saying that the Sixers were getting Brad Daugherty, and they didn't. They traded it, and they got Jeff Ruland. And he wanted the stack team, and it's one of the reasons he left Philadelphia to go to a team that was more stacked in Phoenix with Dan Marley, Kevin Johnson, and that team out there. And that's what it takes to win in the NBA. And it's become more and more apparent. There's been no guy that has stacked teams more than Kevin Durant. No guy that's shown less commitment to an organization to stack a team than Kevin Durant. I mean, think about that team initially that he was on in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the players on that team. And they couldn't win. And they were up 3-1 against Golden State and lost it. And instead of saying, let's go back and get him again next year, he joined them. What, that is an all-time P move. Like, you choked. You guys should have won. You choked. And now you're going to join them?
After they choked.
After they choked. Unbelievable.
But the thing about LeBron, and I'll go back to this in the stacking of the conversation, is he was in an Eastern Conference in which the Celtics had their centerpiece and then went out and added 2 superstars to form that team around the centerpiece of Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was an organic, oh, wow, we drafted Ray Allen, we drafted Kevin Garnett, we drafted Paul Pierce. There wasn't an organic build. He was already in an environment in which super teams were forming. It just so happened he did the grand thing of the decision and brought those 2 guys in with him, or went to Miami, brought Bosh with him, and then had Wade.
And Dwayne Wade, yeah.
Like, he was responding to a super team.
Yeah.
He was responding to his environment. He was
Because
responding
once
to
it
that
starts,
NBA.
you can't stop it.
Right.
And even I remember that Celtics team when they put it together, it was questionable, with, the age of Ray Allen, or, you looked at Pierce, who was obviously in his prime, and you looked and said, is it going to work? There's only one ball. But you come to find out that's what it takes to win.
The best take I've heard about LeBron over the last week was Derek Fisher saying he's not a ring chaser, he's a ring creator. Wherever he goes, guys want to go. Why? Because they think they're going to win a title.
Yeah.
LeBron calls you. Are you taking that? Are you not taking that call?
Yeah, that's a call you pick up all day, every day.
Latavius Caldwell-Pope, man.
Yeah.
He was in Memphis.
Yeah,
he's dancing on a golf course coming to Philly.
Yeah, and look, players later in their career are going to ring chase. Karl Malone did it, going back. I mean, many players have done it.
You want to go out a champion. Once you taste the championship once,
you make a lot of money.
If you never tasted the championship, you're dying.
Yeah, you make a lot of money, but you can't buy a championship.
No. At this point, he's
and that's
paying
legacy.
for one.
Yeah.
He's living in New York, commuting to Philly. We did the math the other day. $4 million to commute that way all season long?
Yeah. Yeah, he's not taking that, what's that, Waymo?
No. Oh, God. I saw that. I'll put a pin in that. Coming up. I'll tell you, I see him now in my neighborhood. I'm getting terrified. I don't like it.
They better not make their way into my neighborhood.
In my neighborhood in Philly, I'm seeing them. We'll talk about that. Also, I've read this ESPN story on LeBron's recruitment at least like 20 times now. It's so good. The story that Dave McMenamin put out, and the person that comes out greatest in all of it. Talk about that coming up next. He's Jason Martinez. I'm Ray Dunn. This Middays Marks 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Another blown lead. I'm Brandon Dutz, and the Phillies have lost yet another series, getting swept by the Miami Marlins. Phillies got out to a 6-0 lead, but Jesus Luzardo collapsed late, allowing the entire lead back, and the Marlins would go on to win take a 2-run lead in the 8th inning. The Phillies have now lost 7 of their last 8 games, and it's becoming clearer by the day what they need to do at the roster, and fast track coming up with the deadline in 4 days. Bob Nightingale joined Middays yesterday to share what relievers Dave Dombrowski could target.
I can see Hoffman. He's pitching a lot better now, too. They're familiar with him. Some people can be gun shy because of what happened, in Philly, Confidence in big games. They could get him and an outfielder, too.
Phillies will look to reset on a much-needed off day today and will start a series in Baltimore with the Orioles tomorrow. Day 2 of training camp kicks off for the Birds as they prepare for the season, and according to The Athletic, LeBron James and ESPN are closing in on a deal for a documentary similar to The Last Dance that will feature the Philadelphia 76ers. This update is sponsored by the New Jersey Department of Health. Public Health works behind the scenes building a healthier future for everyone. One mission, working for you. Learn more at nj.gov/health. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic app.
1 o'clock hour. You're on Middays with Marks, brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restorations. Great teams stick together, so does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration Championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com. Call 610-831-HAIR. The man with Morgenstern Hair, Johnny Marks, back tomorrow.
The man without it, here today.
Well, to be fair, we always have a bald guy on the show. Brace and you both.
Yeah.
Bald and beautiful.
It's one of the things with the next phase of my journey I'm not looking forward to. Well, my oncologist told me, he said, you'll have a similar chemo infusion treatment plan to before, only the first thing you'll take will be different than what you did. The one I had before was called oxaliplatin, and then a 5FU pump, which is 36 or 46 hours. And then somebody would come and take it off.
Yeah.
So the first one, the oxaliplatin, causes some people to lose their, didn't me. Like, it didn't, like eyebrows, beard.
Yeah.
But whatever I would take next, I'll lose it all.
Go.
The eyebrows.
Wow.
Yeah, the beard.
The beard. And you've had that beard outside of about a few weeks there in the mid-2010s. You've had that beard for
long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
That's been, how long have you been rocking the beard?
God, it's got to be close to 15, about a good 15 or 16 years. I would grow it and then shave it and grow it and shave it.
But like shaving it down or shaving it entirely? Like
I would shave it entirely.
Oh, really? Because
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gone clean shaven probably since over a year at this point.
Yeah.
But like that would be me. I would do it.
Yeah.
Clean shaven. Do it.
I look like I'm 12.
Right. Well, that's kind of why I stopped doing it.
Yeah. I still look like I'm 12.
I read the internet a little bit too much the last time I shaved it. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I was like, we're on YouTube every day. It's not TV, but
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm a little unruly right now. We got to trim her up, but we're in the off season. It tends to get unruly in the winter too. So
yeah, I was out. They did the Union Booze Cruise a week ago. They took a group of people from Center City down Delaware to Subaru Park for the game last Wednesday, and I posted some pictures from there. And you know, my buddies are roasting me in the group chat for a number of different things from that post from that trip. But then another one was like, "Oh, right, really, just letting the beard grow out right now." I'm like, "Not really. I guess that's a pretty good sign to clean it up."
Yeah, I'm a clean it up, let it go for 2 months. Clean it up, let it go for 2 months.
Yeah,
I hate even dealing with it.
If it's gonna be this, it's gonna be this.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Why bother?
Face me. I got a face for radio.
That's why I'm here, Jason. That's why I'm here. I wouldn't want to have to deal with the appearances. We were having a conversation about makeup a couple weeks ago, about whether you wear makeup on television. I was like, not the television I do. I show up. If I'm doing a segment, I just show up the way I am.
I show up the way I am, but they tend to put some makeup on my head for the lighting.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, I'm doing this podcast now with the union. They're like, we're trying to get the exposure right in the camera. I was like, you're not going to get the exposure right with me.
Yeah, podcasts I don't think you got to worry about. But like on television with those high quality cameras, sometimes and all those big lights that are in there, like one of Gwen do like Fox with like Mike Jarek and do that whole Good Day or whatever, that kind of stuff. Yeah, they'll powder me up a little bit.
All right. Well, yeah. I think for me, I'm just going to be the thing that shines out in the camera. I'm just that pale. That's what's always going to be for me. I can't really help.
This is the one thing I've hated about the internet is that it's kind of exposed what radio people look like.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts a lot. I get that as I get the collaboration request for us on Instagram. Dutsy's passing something along for me Phillies wise. What do we got that not breaking news, but deadline at least newsworthy for us?
Yeah, so John Morosi posted earlier this morning that the Phillies and Blue Jays seem to be emerging as suitors for a potential trade. And then just minutes ago, John Heyman said that Dalton Varsho was among players that the Phillies have shown interest in. So a couple names in Toronto to keep an eye on.
It seems like the Phillies and Blue Jays are going to do something. Because we talked about it yesterday with Bob Nightingale about Jeff Hoffman.
Yeah.
Which I'm out. I just want that on the record. I understand what Hoffman's been. He's been good. There's one outing he had this year that was bad. Everything else has been good for him. He's been a good pitcher for them. We did last year. I remember. I can't believe they didn't bring him back. They signed Romano, and given the way things went with Romano, that's a fine take to have. The thing ultimately with Hoffman is I've seen him in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he's
and not get it done.
He's blown up at the worst possible times for me. So I'm not really in love with the idea of bringing Hoffman back. That seems like someone they want to. And Varsho, I know what he was a year ago.
There's not many great options out there.
Right.
Unless there's one that's out there that we don't know of.
And that's what Neto appeared to be, but I'm not in on Neto.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, I have already prepared myself to be underwhelmed significantly by what happens next week. Whatever they trade for, it's going to be like, well, I could give you the start of the show. We want to play the Open one more time, and it's just, well, you know who it's going to come down to this year, Jason? It's going to come down to the Stars. They're going to have to produce in October. You're going to have to lean
that's
on...
not wrong either.
It's not wrong, but it's going to be the immediate takeaway from the deadline of like, yeah, if you were looking for someone to come in here and save you, you got nothing.
Yeah, that's why they call it a team sport. You know, the whole team's got to come together.
And it hasn't been
Everybody's got to be able to
year.
raise their level. The Stars need to raise their level 20%, and the everyday or regular guys 10%. That's what needs to be done. If you don't get that, you're not going to win anything.
And it does not feel as if I'm going to see them win anything, truthfully.
Well, right now it doesn't.
No.
But things can change.
Yeah.
Maybe Donnie Baseball's got some of the answers.
Donnie Baseball right now, by the way. Donnie Baseball, for all that everybody complained, moaned, whined about Rob Thompson, I heard the lack of energy. I heard the lack of accountability. They're making the same mistakes. He sounds just as tired in his post-game pressers as Rob Thompson did. And I can go through probably a dozen decisions within the last 3 weeks that Don Mattingly made that I disagreed with. And on top of that, probably cost them multiple runs, if not baseball games. Like, the Donnie Baseball world, we want to get all, you know, I remember when he got, that they got off the hot start. It's like, wow, look at the world Donnie Baseball's doing.
Yeah.
He came out, they did the PR
answers.
thing. They were practicing bunting. They had, when the reporters were out there, they had him practicing bunting as if it's not a nice PR stunt for like, oh, yeah, look, they're laying down bunts. This is the same team, and this manager's not doing anything any more impactful than the last one did.
Yeah, but it's a different voice.
And it worked for a bit there.
Yep.
We'll see how Bryce Harper takes the Donnie Baseball, saying that players should keep themselves out of the front office's business.
Yeah, I wonder how that's going over between those two.
Right.
I think they should have a little meeting in the coach's office.
We need couples therapy.
They could use a good therapist, a group therapist.
So if you're the therapist right now, Jason, if we could make you a
I'm not.
therapist, we're going to make you, yeah, you might be.
I might
You've
need
been in this industry long enough, you might be
Yeah.
one. I feel like you've probably talked to enough people one way or another, you probably could get a therapy
And
license.
I'm damn near a doctor at this point.
If you're in that room right now, how are you settling things between them?
Well, I'm putting everything on the table. We're not leaving this room until everything is said, leaving nothing unsaid. We'll address it. We'll talk about it. There'll be some things we can agree on. There'll be some things that maybe we disagree on how to go about them. But we're going to come out of this room with an understanding, and we're going to be on the same page because we both want the same thing. What's best for the Phillies, what's best for them to be a winning baseball team. And however you got to go about getting to that, that's what you do. Each guy gets their say, and there's a back and forth, and you air it out, and you move on and move forward. If you can't do that, then you got bigger problems.
It seems like they might just have bigger problems.
Maybe.
Described as a Cold War, and I know I keep reading the headline from Matt Gelb, but the story itself is fantastic if you haven't read it yet on The Athletic, of just like diving into, hey, this team's struggling right now, and oh, by the way, the superstar and the president of baseball operations are not seeing eye to eye at all and haven't for quite a bit now. And team people were upset with Harper for saying they need help, which I can understand. You're a guy trying to do your job at the front office. Like you said earlier, like, you really want to broadcast to everyone that we need some help here? Like, leave us alone.
Yeah, just help out your GM. Just don't make things public. Go to the GM and tell him that. Hey, man, we need more.
And as a guy who was always a lesser player on the team that he was on, I could imagine being that guy in that room like, oh, Bryce is talking about me.
Yeah.
He's looking.
Well, you wonder about the chemistry, too, because sometimes it's the guys that do the stuff all year long to get you there, then they bring somebody in, and it messes things up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens. I think it's less in baseball because of the mano-a-mano battle of pitcher versus hitter, but it can.
Hey, if Crawford and Realmuto had an understanding of the way that each was going to run the bases in that game last week, maybe we would have one more win on the board. But
yeah,
I digress. I got to stop bringing that up. It upsets me too much. I do want to get to, I mentioned the ESPN story on the Browns recruitment and who comes out best of this entire thing. We'll get to that coming up. We got the YouTube chat recap, and then we'll hand things over to Unfiltered. He's Jason Bertidis. I'm Ray Dunn. Middays Marks, 97.5, The Fanatic. Welcome back in. Middays without Marks. Johnny Marks back tomorrow. Jason Martinez alongside myself, Ray Dunn, Harry Jordan producing the program. We got the YouTube chat recap coming up in a matter of minutes. But I did tease this. I want to get to just the story Dave McMenamin put out, which also Dave's been fantastic on these airwaves. Jumping on. He was on with us middays. He was on Unfiltered, I believe, Monday. And the amount of reporting and the work that he's done chasing LeBron around throughout this entire – I can't imagine it's easy to pry information out of the Clutch Sports camp.
Well, that and just it's an ever-changing story.
Yeah.
Imagine the miles.
It would
The
got
air
a lot of
miles?
miles out of it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that too, the air miles. Now for him, it's going to be tough. You know, McMenamin, a Philadelphia-based guy, but lives in L.A.
Yeah.
I would imagine that he's going to spend a lot of time back in his hometown this year. I don't know who from ESPN they're going to have circling the Sixers, but if you're doing communications, PR on the Sixers side of things, you got an extra row probably dedicated coming up this season, at least to all the reporters that are going to be in town for LeBron.
Yeah.
My days of sitting downstairs are over.
Yeah, they're gone. Yeah, you're upstairs.
I will be an upstairs media member.
Yeah.
Going forward, which usually happened in the playoffs. Like Knicks round 2, that was inevitable. Celtics this year, first round, I was able to be down low. But I mean,
yeah, the amount of media is going to quadruple.
Yeah.
I would say.
Maybe I won't have a seat.
I mean, you saw the prices for the tickets. I mean, it's nuts.
As a season ticket guy, thrilled.
Yeah, you're
my value is fantastic.
Yeah, see, you bought it a good time.
We bought this is year 11, I think, for this group. I'm like year 6 of being a part of it. 7 of us in on 2 tickets. We nearly got rid of it 2 seasons ago. Would have been a massive mistake. We'd be kicking ourselves right now, and I know a lot of people are because I've heard stories from ticket reps about people that are calling like, "Hey, remember when I said I was out?
Yeah,
I'm back in," and it's like,
yeah, well, price a little different now.
Yeah. Last week's price is not this week's price. Price has gone up.
Yeah.
The greatest thing that's come out from McMenamin, from his story, and Chris Haynes also doing some reporting on NBA TV, I think was where his hit was. Tyrese Maxey's come out the best in all of this. LeBron talking about Tyrese Maxey, the recruitment that Maxey's reportedly had in all this. Maxey put on his story after they got him. I'm like Coach Cal because he talked about the recruitment. He was apparently calling LeBron consistently, trying to get updates on where he was at and trying to figure out what he's doing.
I love it.
It's amazing.
All in, right?
And it has felt like, I understand it's as long as Embiid's here, the idea that it's Embiid's team because he's the elder statesman. Of all the players here, his upside, like talent-wise, like he is the highest upside player.
Yeah.
He is the best player on the floor. But with that being said, nothing could be more signaled to this offseason than the guy that actually is speaking in that room, and not even just this offseason. It feels like it's been going that way for quite a bit now, especially ever since Embiid's knees have really started to betray him, and we've seen like 30-game seasons from him. The guy in that room that's speaking and people are listening to is Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah.
Quite clearly. That's been the biggest thing out of this recruitment process, out of the Phylon draft pick, all the conversations.
It's great because he's young. He's taking on that on already.
Yeah. Tyrese Maxey, 2000 baby. Born in 2000.
Yeah.
You got a lot of mileage left with that guy. He's still a young man.
I think the influence of having a LeBron around him so young in his career, too, can have an impact.
Him, Edgecombe. I mean, the group that they have that's young. I mean, Jaylen Brown isn't young per se in the sense he's a finals MVP, but there's still runway with him in terms of his prime.
Yep.
Like, to have LeBron around to usher in this era, which feels like it, as much as you do still have pieces from what's been a long era here, it does feel like ushering a new era.
It really feels like the only piece from the era, though, is Embiid.
Maxey's had so much time now, it does feel like he's tied to that era.
Yeah, he's got an attachment to it, but he's not a core of it.
It feels like this is his era.
Yeah,
and
now
his era was, I'm going to go get arguably the greatest basketball player to ever live to play here in his final years while I'm mentoring VJ Edgecombe, while I'm welcoming Jaylen Brown into the fold. As much as we love what Gansey did, Bob Myers, the whole crew, like you're giving as much flowers as you can to management. It seems like Maxey, not just the fact that he's a clutch sports guy like LeBron, just who he is, had a big piece in why we're sitting here.
Yeah, there's no doubt that he had an impact on it because LeBron's also looking about who he's playing with.
Yep.
You know, and what they're capable of. He's not coming here to just, hey, I'm coming in to finish it out and make a push. He had to be convinced that he could win. And he was convinced enough that he could do it.
One of the guys that convinced him, Mike Gansey. Did you see where Mike Gansey was when he found out about LeBron?
No.
Mike Gansey was like just about every other human being that works from home on a Friday, because he was back home in Ohio, got the text from Rich Paul that said, "Congrats, Sixers it is." And Gansey just walked upstairs, told his wife, "Babe, we just got LeBron."
Wow. And she leaked it right to Stephen A. Smith.
She was like, "I got Shams on line 1.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What a text to get. Like, to get that as a text.
Congrats.
Like, could
Sixers
you have made that a phone call, please?
Yeah.
So we get a little more formal.
Here's the group chat, apparently, that it was. Josh Harris, David Blitzer, Bob Myers, Jameer Nelson, Tyrese Maxey, and Mike Gansey with
Wow.
Rich Paul.
That's awesome.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Sixers it is.
That's a good text chain to be on.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have been a fly on that text chain
Right.
wall.
Do you respond back in that text chain, or do you create the group chat without Rich Paul to react to it?
Without Rich Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all just love the message. Awesome. Sounds great.
No, there's another one I'm going, and it's, holy cow.
Yeah.
We got this across the finish line.
Which, if you go back and watch the video of me reacting last week, the holy that I dropped was going to be followed by something that would have had me out of this seat. I still can't believe that we did that less than a week ago. All right. Let's get to the YouTube chat recap.
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in? Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie. Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
Let's go.
Jason, I appreciate you for everything. Your amazing strength during this time is inspiring. Grew up listening to your Flyers takes and appreciate your insight. Wish the best for you and the family. From Jeff Cap.
Thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate it. The support from everybody's been, like, it's humbling. You know, you don't even know what to do with it. Other than I'll tell people this: whether you've sent me a DM, an email, a response on Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is, Reddit, I read them all. And if you think that writing something in support doesn't do anything, I bank it. And when I need it, extra strength, I use it. So what you do right, it does matter. So don't think it's just going into the ether. I read everything. I try and respond to everyone. So this one's going to take me a while.
Yeah.
But it does mean something, and it does help me, and it does give me strength. Just thank you.
And I think the YouTube chat today will certainly be one of those things that you can absolutely bank.
Yeah, no doubt.
What else we got?
It's nice that the Fanatic is letting Dutz complete his summer internship. From If Bayless.
Dutsy,
from Dutz.
Yeah, from Dutz. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, Hair Jordan. Finally 21. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, man.
It's nice.
You just turned 21?
I turned 21 in October. So I'll be
Okay.
22 in a couple months.
When he started here, I offered to take him out for a beer.
And he wasn't old enough?
He was not old enough.
19.
He didn't know how to tell me that. So he just kind of like shrugged it off, and I was like, wow.
Well, it was more like, can you buy me beer?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Get you down in Delaware. Where you go beach-wise?
Belmar.
Yeah, I was going to say. I'll get the Belmar boys a case for you. What else you got?
There are too many holes and not enough assets to fill them. At this point, they'd be better off doing nothing and hoping this team hits their stride in late September and rides that wave of momentum into October. From Fightins, Fan Kev.
You'd be
Might not have a choice.
kicking yourself, though, if you did nothing.
Yeah, but you can't do something just to do something.
I'm just saying, like, if you have to improve this bullpen. Like, that to me, I'm not thinking that you're going to go send 6 prospects out for a bullpen. Like, you're going to end up, like, 1 prospect for a bullpen arm. Like, if you just do nothing, I think you're going to end up kicking yourself.
Yeah,
to even do something.
they'll do something. They
Right.
will add an arm, a bullpen arm, and maybe another piece that they can bring in situations. But it doesn't look like there's options out there to grab something big and, splashy.
We'll see. I don't really think that they're going to be able to afford the splash that everybody wants. I think they're going to outbid considerably. All right, we got one more?
IPAs are only for when normal beer doesn't calm your own internal demons. From Randy.
What was going on in the YouTube chat today?
Yeah, I know.
What about their demons?
Sheesh.
I mean, I'm pro IPA. That might be a controversial take.
I don't drink, and I was never like a fan of those things. I If there was a beer that said just beer on it in like standard font, that's what I would buy.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. Like I've become an IPA guy because I'm a spoiled brat when I go out with my dad and my uncle. Like they
and your generation's more.
Yeah, the
grew up
breweries
with the
down there. Yeah, like I'll tell other half, Urban Village, those places down in Northern Liberties, they find me quite a bit.
Like when I was a kid, they had Hershey Kisses, and that's it.
That's it.
They didn't have 30 kinds of Hershey Kisses.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They bastardized everything.
Yeah, we're a generation of luxury.
Yeah,
Jason.
Even now you can get ketchup potato chips.
A lot of fun doing
dill
this.
Pickle. Oh yeah,
great to work with you. Great to hang out with you for 4 hours. Look forward to having you back through quite often.
Appreciate that. Thanks for listening, and we had some fun.
Yeah, talk to you again soon. Johnny Marks back tomorrow. Thanks, Stutzy. We'll talk to you then.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Swept in Miami. I'm Brandon Dutz, and the Phillies continued their terrible stretch of baseball, getting swept by the Miami Marlins. Phillies got out to a 6-0 lead, but Jesus Luzardo collapsed late, allowing the entire lead back, and the Marlins would go on to take a 2-run lead in the 8th inning. Phillies have now lost 7 of their last 8 games, continuing to find new ways to lose. Luckily for the Phillies, they get